Welcome to Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers. Tonight, Clark County, the site for an Ohio Heritage Conference matchup between the Springfield Catholic Central Irish and the Greenon Knights. Good evening. Thank you for making us a part of your Thursday evening. Matt Digby alongside Keith Byers. We'll also hear shortly from Tej Joshi. Both teams entering tonight with a record of 1-6. Certainly not the record they were hoping to have at this point of the season, but there are 3 games left, Keith, including tonight, and a win because of the playoff points ranking situation. A win tonight for either team will put them right back in playoff conversation.
I mean, that's where you want to be. The month of October, our first Friday night in October, it's great weather. I said the first game of the season. It's football weather.
It is.
It's always football weather. And so these Thursday night lights, both teams have something to play for, and they have playoff implications. The season hasn't went quite the way they wanted it after the first 4, 5, 6 games of the season. But how are we now? We got 3 games left. They will remember this night forever. So this game will be the game that could put either team right back into playoff contention, right where they want to be at. So I'm sure they're looking forward to it.
And Greenon trying to make it 2 in a row after getting their first win of the season last week at Madison Plains. Springfield Catholic Central going for their first win since week 1. Time now to introduce the third member of our broadcast team, Tej Joshi. Good evening, Tej.
Good evening, guys. It is certainly an exciting night here in Clark County. Now, for the home team for Greenon, it's their homecoming night. We're going to maybe try to get you some video of that later on in tonight's broadcast. The team here is pumped from a football perspective. I was just watching their D-line and O-line warm up. They're looking good in warm-ups, and Coach told me keep an eye on number 8 on their D-line. He's looking strong tonight. Could be a game wrecker. Now, over for our away team for Catholic Central. They are a smaller team in terms of number of players, but that doesn't mean they play soft. They play really hard. I've been seeing them look strong in warm-ups, and their coaches told me that they are looking forward to playing as hard as they can tonight, looking for a win. Now, it's a bit rainy here tonight. Hopefully dries off as the game continues. For a full look on our game forecast, here is Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters.
Well, rain gear will be coming in handy for tonight's game, as we are expecting rain showers to really continue on through this evening. We'll start out with a light to moderate rainfall. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s, eventually falling into the mid 60s, and that rain does begin to taper off a bit by late into the evening. So once the game begins to end, we will start to see that rain begin to taper off too. But overall, looks like a soggy evening for some football.
Thank you, Natalie. Coming up next, the coin toss and the opening kickoff as the Irish beat the Knights on Thursday Night Lights.
Hey, guys, like I said, take care of them so we don't have to take care of them. All right? We got a coin here. This is heads, and this is tails. This is heads, and this is tails. Catholic Central, you guys are the visitors. What is your call? Heads. Heads is the call. I dropped it. We'll do it again. All right, it's heads. You have won the toss. What would you like to do? You want to defer to the second half? They're going to defer. You want the ball, right? Thank you.
Catholic Central has won the toss and deferred to the second half.
All right, go ahead that way.
The Knights will receive the kick and go from east to west.
Team will receive. Yeah, come on in. Hey, guys, shake hands one more time. Good luck.
That was the Toyota coin toss conducted by its umpire, tonight's referee, I should say, Ray Bradshaw. We've seen him a couple of times already. He was the referee for our Week 4 contest when Trotwood came from behind Trotwood Madison to win against Alter. Tonight's officiating crew, umpire Bob Hess, line judge Will Farley, high linesman Mark Overholzer, back judge Mark Ratliff, and center judge is Blake Shepard. So
that's a pretty good crew.
We've
had them before, like you said, against Trotwood and Alter. You know, the best referees is ones you don't see that often. When they make the call on the spot, I think this is one of the best crews we've had all year, so I'm looking forward to working with them again tonight.
This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. It's going to be taken around the 10-yard line. This is Aiden Carpenter, or Colton Workman, excuse me. Looked like he almost ran into his own man, so...
Yeah, he was trying to get back to the wedge. You know, it was an excellent kick, you know, by Springfield.
So time now for Keys to the Game, presented by Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Well, you know, I think for Greenon, they need to run the ball with the conditions and, you know, get the crowd involved. You're the home team. Get them involved. And if you're Central Catholic, start fast and win the turnover battle. Those are going to be 2 things I'm going to be looking for out of both these teams as this game gets started right now.
And the Knights playing with, they acknowledged, a lot of confidence coming off their first win of the season last week on the road at Madison Plains.
Only thing better than winning 1 game in a row is to win 2 in a row.
And with their situation with the playoff points in Region 20. A second straight win will put them very much back in conversation for a playoff berth.
That's what they're looking
Substitution
for.
infraction on the offense. 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Somebody didn't get the memo on special teams. You know, yeah, you're out. You know, it's probably a special team that thought he was going to be starting, and, you know, that can happen.
Substitution infraction.
So Aiden Carpenter will have his work cut out for him. Starting a jar first and 15 from the 5.
Not what Coach Josh Wooten had in mind.
Meanwhile, opportunity for the Irish to make a big play early of their own if they can force Carpenter into an early mistake. And now we've got another whistle.
Maybe the defense have too many people on the field this time to get them the 5 yards back. Restart the clock. Maybe he wants to go back.
So ready for the first play from scrimmage. Carpenter from the shotgun. Pitch back to one of the back men. And he's able to break one tackle, pick up a gain of about 2, but it's still going to bring up second and long. That was Hunter Odell who took the pitch. It was actually a couple yards back in the end zone. Here's the starting lineup for the Greenon offensive unit. It's a run-based lineup. You see 3 running backs in the backfield, and Odell, Lipscomb, and Barajas, and an X-Man wide receiver in Colton Workman.
Barajas, number 52, getting to run the ball. Okay.
So there's Aiden Carpenter, the 6'1" junior quarterback, running back onto the field, as it is a official gain of 3, brings up second down and 12 from the 8-yard line.
Come on, that double wing formation.
And this is a give to number 34. This is Kai Ricks, quickly out to the 20 and the 30, trying to get an angle and take it out of bounds close to the 39-yard line. But Kai Ricks with the first big play of the night. That is good for a Greenon first down presented by Arby's.
The thing I love about the double wing offense, you know, they outflank you and they make you, if you're a defense player, you have to have good eye discipline. You can't get caught up looking at the ball. You got to just play, read your keys. And that time, Greenon got a big play out of it.
Here are the starting defensive players for the Irish. They go with a 4-4-3 setup. As a quick pitch on first down, it's out to Odell. He's quickly met close to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring up second and roughly 10. So the Irish able to regroup and force very little gain, if any.
Well, that's the thing, you know, the yin and the yang of the double wing. That first play, offense won it. This time, what hurts the penetration by number 53, when you get in that backfield, that messes up the double wing offense.
That was Matt Nye on the stop for Springfield Catholic Central, the sophomore. And we mentioned it on our preview last night, not a large roster size for Springfield Catholic Central, so you will see multiple players going both offense and defense. As here's a pitch to Ricks. Nearly got free of one block, but not able to get much more than that. It was a first wrap-up by Noah Thrasher, who is playing both as a quarterback and a safety, but Ricks will be met for a gain of about 3. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, they saw that play already, and they was like, no, we're going to be ready for it this time.
Adam Thomas there, you see number 62, was also on the stop to limit the forward progress.
You know, this is 3rd and manageable. You know, we talk all the time every week, winning the battle of the 3rd. That's the battle within the battle of the war. You want to win the war, you want to win the game, but it helps when you win these 3rd down situations.
Michael Lipscomb giving Carpenter time to complete a pass. One broken tackle, and he's still in bounds. Workman to about the Catholic Central 30-yard line. That's a 3rd down conversion, and it is a Greenon first down presented by Arby's.
I tell you, Colton Workman is just a freshman or a sophomore. Young player, so you're going to see a whole lot more of him. Actually, catch the ball with your hands, break a tackle, and get up the field. I like to see him get that ball in the outside arm. That way he can use a stiff arm, but, you know, that'll come.
Adam Thomas and Brody Adams looked at the angle. They were maybe in this position. They were just trying to knock him out of bounds, but couldn't quite make the tackle, and that gave Workman the necessary space to maneuver for even further downfield.
There's a double wing.
Another handoff to Ricks up the middle.
They're looking for the handoff to go outside, and they gave it to the inside, right between the tackles.
And Ricks will have enough for another first down for Greenon, presented by Arby's, and it also moves the Knights into the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza, a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important as the ball is moved to about the 14-yard line.
They used Central Catholic's defense against them. They used fast flow defense, and they overran it. Nice cutback. Quarterback sneak.
On first down, Carpenter up the middle, and he's quickly able to gain at least 5 as he's close to the 10-yard line. May have gotten a little more closer to the 5. It will bring up second and short. So Greenon using a quick tempo, but there is a flag on the play.
I'm kind of curious what was the flag for. Unless he holding possible, but that was a quick call. He must have came out, grabbed him right away, but I don't want to assume anything. Let's just wait.
So Carpenter, only 1 pass attempt so far, but that was a completion for a first down, and Greenon has been getting the job done more on the ground rather than through the air so far. Here's Ray Bradshaw.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 by the offense, 1 by the defense. Face mask on the defense, aiding the runner on the offense. The penalties will offset. We'll replay first down.
So basically you just get a replay from the original line of scrimmage.
You're not allowed to do the Philly push in high school football. Because it looked like Jalen Hurts, and they just did like a little rugby scrum.
Or the Bush from 18 years ago.
How
this
about
month.
that? Yeah. Notre Dame and USC.
So first and 10, and it's a misdirection handoff. It's Ricks. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage, and very little, if any, gain. Again, Noah Thrasher on the stop. So was number 33, Xavier Brown.
Yeah, Catholic Central was ready for it that time. They said, no, you got to put one big run. Came right back to it.
Yeah, Hicks doing well to break the tackle of Brown, and then eventually ran into Thrasher, who, again, we mentioned will be playing both quarterback and safety. He was actually a wide receiver at the start of the season, then was moved into the position of quarterback around the 2nd or 3rd week of 2023.
Yeah, the more you can do, make yourself valuable.
A push pitch to Ricks, trying to get to the left side, and he's going to be met and stopped around the 10-yard line. So it's another 3rd down, a big opportunity for Catholic Central to get a stop here.
You know, I like this game. You know, it comes down to, right now, the game is in the trenches. There's an offensive player. Do we block better than they shed? And if you're a defensive player, we shed better than they block. And that was the time the defense won. He shedded the block and made it.
There's Adam Thomas. We had a chance to speak with him yesterday on our preview, which you may have seen on Dayton 24/7 now.
For a house backfield.
As on 3rd down, it's a handoff. He looks to maybe have enough. No, they might mark him just a bit shy. That was number 8 on the carry, Nathan Hartwing. First time we've seen him.
4th down. Are we going to go for it or going to kick a field goal? They're going to. Did the field goal kicker come on the field? I don't think so.
The line of scrimmage, they're marking it as the 5-yard line, so they'd be trying a 22-yard field goal, but it doesn't look like they're going to go for that.
They started this drive on about the 5-yard line, so hey, they moved it. They hate to not get any points out of this.
And a quick handoff to Hartwing again. Well broken tackle. And Nathan Hartwing in for the opening touchdown of the game. And Greenon going 95 yards on the opening drive for a touchdown presented by Donato's.
I mean, just like that, I just spoke of it a moment ago. As an offensive player, do we block better than they can shed our blocks? The defensive player, can we shed better than they can block us? And that time the offense won. The offensive lineman, you wanted the point of attack, and the ball carrier just was the recipient of that. Good job by Nathan Hartwing.
And they were able to use the mix of speed. They had Hunter Odell on the carry for a couple of plays. Kai Ricks carried for a couple of plays, and then using the muscle, Nathan Hartwing, a bigger player physically, as the extra point attempt is blocked. So it stays a 6-0 ball game. We had a couple weeks ago, it came down to missed PATs, so we'll see how large that block moves by the end of the night.
The first quarter, that extra point should come by and haunt you. But we'll see. We've got a lot of football to find out whether or not that's going to really be key.
Charlie Axtell credited with the block for Springfield Catholic Central, but Greenon goes 95 yards on their opening drive, and Nathan Hartwing from 5 yards out gives the Knights a 6-0 lead. Timeout. There's a look at Greenon senior Nathan Hartwing wearing number 8. He has the first touchdown of Week 8 on Thursday Night Lights as the Greenon Knights are out to a 6-0 lead against Catholic Central. They go 95 yards down the field. Technically, it was a 90-yard drive because the drive officially started at the 10, but they were driven back to the 5 because of a penalty before the first snap from scrimmage. Now Catholic Central will get their first drive of the game. Kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. It's going to be taken on a couple of hops. And quickly out to the 20, 25, nice one broken return. Tackle close to the 30, and good starting field position for Catholic Central. That was thanks to the return of Noah Thrasher, the quarterback. Quick look at the scoring summary. 10 plays, 93 yards. That's actually a 10-yard run that Nathan Hartwing is credited with, taking up the opening 4 minutes and change off the clock.
I like that Nathan Hart got the first down first and then got the touchdown second. You know, that's running with authority. You know, the coaches over there on the sideline, they're excited. I mean, offense coach, that's how you want to start the game. Draw it up, and you're working all week in practice and open the drive, touchdown. Let's see if Catholic Central can answer that.
And it was on a 4th down conversion as well. It was 4th and 2 that the Knights went for it and were successful. On 1st down, a wayward snap controlled by Thrasher, pitch to Brown, but he has room and a blocker quickly past midfield.
Nice.
2 men have an angle, but Xavier Brown is now inside the 20 and down to about the 16-yard line.
But I think it's coming back. I saw some laundry. I think one of the wide receivers tackled a defensive back.
There is a flag at the Greenon 46-yard line.
Oh, that one hurts. I thought I saw a defensive wide receiver tackle. He was blocking him, but next thing I know, the guy was on the ground. And
offense, 10 yards, replay 1st down.
Well, it was a wayward snap. It was all Noah Thrasher, the quarterback, could do to handle the shotgun snap and just get the pitch off to Brown, but then it was Brown doing all the rest until the flag.
Yeah, I mean, when they saw the
1st down.
They saw the bad snap. I think the defensive players lost their defense. They got their key and got out of position. Got to stay in your rush lanes. You got to keep contained, and they didn't do that when they saw the bad snap.
Well, I should say it is actually a net gain because the line of scrimmage was the 36. The block occurred during the play, and 10 yards from the block, that moved them up to their own 44-yard line. So, in effect, it's a 1st and 10, a net gain of 8. Oh. As Thrasher looking deep downfield, but over the head of his intended receiver. That was Owen Young, who was trying to... He did have a step in front of the defender, but Thrasher may have gotten a little overexcited. Here's the look at the Catholic Central starting offense. Again, Thrasher started the season as a wide receiver, was moved to quarterback after Connor Cordell had a slight injury in the early weeks of the season, but Thrasher, the senior, is now under center, and they go with a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver set on offense.
I mean, the more you can do, I mean, you know, Connor Thrasher is, Noah Thrasher is a heck of an athlete. And, you know, so he'd be able to just go from wide receiver to DB to quarterback. I mean, you can look at him. He has a great command of this team and our offense.
He is the middle of 3 brothers. His older brother graduated last year, was an Irish player. As on 2nd down, this pass incomplete, I should say. It was intended for Berkeley Little, who looked to lose his footing on the wet grass.
Yes, that makes a difference.
Here's a look at the starting defense for the Greenon Knights. You see Nathan Hartling. He lines up on the line. You just saw him score the first touchdown just moments ago.
You know, I didn't get a chance. I should have been one of my keys. I wasn't expecting this much rain.
Yeah.
Even though the rain has subsided right now. We're on a grass field. We're not on field turf, so we're on natural surfaces. So footing and a wet football is going to be key. So turnover is going to be very paramount in a game like this.
Thrasher trying to buy time, rolling to his right, fires, almost looked like he was able to thread the needle to Owen Young, who wants a flag, but one is not coming.
That was an excellent call, a good no call by the referees. You know, it was contact there, but it was after the ball went by, not before.
So 4th and 10 upcoming. It was a 1st down because of the penalty and where they marked the ball, a net gain, but the Irish unable to take advantage of that break, and they will have to punt the ball away with just over 7 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. They had opportunities. It's just a matter of, on one play, you know, the wide receiver losing his footing. Other plays, it looked like Thrasher maybe got a little over-eager to complete the pass.
I thought Noah Thrasher was about to punt for a second. He does everything else.
Owen Young with the kick, quickly taking that to 25, and clean coverage, though halo violation, and in fact forward progress will be stopped at about the 24-yard line. So Greenon will take over with a 6-0 lead with just over 7 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. You're watching Week 8 of Lee's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers. Greenon Knights with a 6-0 lead, and they're about to start their 2nd drive at the 7:02 mark of the 1st quarter on Week 8 of Thursday Night Lights. Matt Digby, Keith Byers, Tage Joshi, and our crew greeting you from Clark County, Ohio, as on 1st down, Aiden Carpenter, QB keeper, up for about a gain of 3.5 yards, going to bring up 2nd and definitely manageable.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that was a different kind of quarterback sneak. It wasn't a key sneak, it was just a quarterback keeper all alone. You have to throw all the blockers in front and everybody pick up a man and go hit.
And Brody Adams, though, able to come in from the side and make the tackle to prevent what could have been an even bigger gain for the junior quarterback.
I mean, the running game is working right now with Greenon. You know, with the field conditions being the way they are today, you know, all the little fundamental things you do first day of training camp pay off. You know, ball control, but, you know, take care of the football. So wet football, you got to look at it and concentrate that much harder and wrap it up with 2 hands.
Carpenter on the QB keeper again, rolling to the right side. He was able to manage maybe a slight gain, but it's still going to bring up 3rd down. And here's the key for the Irish. Could they get a 3rd down stop? They had put Greenon in opportunities their first drive, but the Knights were able to rally from those opportunities and pick up 1st down conversions. Now can the Irish get a defensive stop?
Well, they need it right now. If they get a stop here, they're going to get good field position. And they did get a chance to, you know, to tie the ball game up and take the lead. But Greenon's not thinking about that right now. They're only thinking about this 3rd and 2, and the running game has really been effective so far.
Carpenter lines up under center. A handoff to Hartling. He's quickly out across the 40-yard line to about the 42. That's going to be enough for a Knights 1st down presented by Arby's. And Nathan Hartling, who had the first touchdown of the game, has that 1st down conversion.
He's 6'3", 205 pounds. He's a load of a running back. Here in Division V football, he's one of the bigger backs that you're going to see.
And Greenon, they mentioned coming into this game with a lot of confidence after a tough start to the season, 0-6. They won their first game last week at Madison Plains. And this is Hunter Odell, quickly past one man out near midfield. He's going to have a gain of about 8, maybe 9, and they'll mark it 2nd and short.
I love to see this type of football. This is old school football for me.
Especially on true grass in the rain.
The grass is rainy. Nobody's complaining. You know, I love to throw the football too, but right now, you know, Greenon is just playing, you know, just tough guy, big boy football. We're lining up. We're taking it starting. The rain is starting to pick up a little bit. I see some of the umbrellas going up here in the stands. So ball control. Look at that scrum.
And Carpenter quickly edging ahead. That's good for another Greenon 1st down past the Irish 45-yard line, and that's a 1st down presented by Arby's.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive lineman, this is a delight for them. They just get the line up and just push. Look at all those black jerseys. You know, they're pushing the white jerseys, you know, back, and as offensive line, as offense player, you want to control the line of scrimmage. And that is where the game is always won, in the trenches. And right now, Greenon is getting it done early here in the 1st quarter.
Well, it was raining pretty steadily when we first arrived here around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this afternoon. There was that little bit of space of time where it stopped, but you can hear now on through your TV set, it's come back. And Catholic Central is going to call their first time out of the half at the 4:30, around the 4:30 mark of the 1st quarter. As there's a look at the Irish and the Knights. Springfield Catholic Central in their 2nd season with head coach Jim Dimitrov. He's been a long-time assistant coach. Actually, I have to say this as a matter of disclosure. He was an assistant coach at my old high school, Upper Arlington, when I was a student at UA. Back in the mid-2000s.
2-3 years ago?
Oh, more like a little over a decade ago. But yeah, Jim Dimitrov, he was a long-time head coach. He was at Springfield North back when it was still Springfield North and South high schools. Then he was assistant for over a decade at Upper Arlington High School in the Columbus area. He's also been a assistant coach at Wittenberg, so he has experience at the college level as well. And now his 2nd season of this current stint in charge of the Irish.
This is my first time here at Greenon High School, and I'm looking at the student body. They're into it. It's homecoming.
Yep.
It's the king and queen. I don't think the king has been announced yet, but I saw the court.
Yep.
And
I believe they were saving
I love this high school atmosphere out here.
I believe they were saving the king and queen announcement for halftime, as I overheard.
Okay, I won't let anything out the bag.
Yep. 1st down after the pickup by Aiden Carpenter. It's a pitch to Kai Ricks, quickly to the left side, and he's good to about the 40-yard line, a gain of about 3. Will bring up 2nd down as the Knights, they are in their 7th season with head coach Josh Wooten. They were a playoff team last year and looking to get back into the top 16 of Region 20. They enter tonight 25th in the Region 20 ranking, so they have a bit of a ways to go.
It's doable with 3 weeks to go.
The fact that 16 teams per region making it now. Here's Carpenter on the QB keeper, waited for an opening and found even more of an opening. He may be close to another 1st down, or they'll mark him about 1.5 yards short, going to bring up 3rd and short.
You know what I like about this offensive football that Greenon is playing. They're repeating plays over and over. Sometimes, you see some schools, they get too cute by trying to, show you how vast their playbook is. I don't need to see if you got 30 plays and you're only going to, how many of those are going to be successful. Find out what's successful early and just keep them on repeat. Be good at a few plays instead of being a master of none.
As Carpenter,
he had time.
Third down, scrambling to his left. He actually may have lost a yard or two on that play because he was forced to scramble.
He had two receivers open. He just couldn't get it because he was rolling to his left, being a right-handed quarterback.
Greenon going with the quick tempo offense, but Charlie Axtell, number 52, among those who was not fooled, as he and Matt and I were able to force Carpenter out of bounds, and now another fourth down situation.
Too long for a field goal, too short for a punt, so they want to go for it.
Well, they went for it on fourth down their last drive, and all they did was score a touchdown out of it. And this is Nathan Hartling, who scored that touchdown. He quickly has the first down and is quickly back in the races to another touchdown. When in fourth down, give it to number 8, Nathan Hartling, with his second touchdown, this time from about 30 yards out, and it's presented by Donato's.
What a nice run by Nathan Hartling. Big guy. I love to see big players play big. He's 6'3", 205 pounds. I mean, he's a load to, get down. He broke the tackle at the point of attack, then broke another tackle, then it was off to the races. So I think we're going to get a heavy diet of him tonight. Love it.
We had a running back named our player of the game last week when Chaminade Julien won big against Bishop Fenwick, and right now Nathan Hartling making an early statement for player of the game tonight.
Yeah, they're going to go for 2, and I don't see Hartling in the field in the game right now. That's who I'll be giving the ball to, right back at him. But we'll see.
Carpenter going to line up in the shotgun formation with Hunter Odell. Looks like he's ready to run in motion. And Carpenter broke one tackle. There is a flag down on the play.
Got a free play, throw it.
Carpenter gets rid of the ball, completes it to Odell, who, did he sneak in? They say he did.
I thought he may have stepped out of bounds, but he didn't.
It looked like that on the naked eye, too, but we'll see. First off, we'll see the flag. But you think it may be...
I think the flag is for face mask. But I want to get ahead of myself, but I thought I saw face mask. They're probably declining it, so.
Yeah, Ray Bradshaw indicating to the players, and that looks like it's going to be on Catholic Central.
Illegal shift on the offense. 5 yards. We'll retry it down.
So illegal shift on the offense. So the try will be reattempted is what it is.
I guess I thought he grabbed him by the face mask. Just got him on the backside of the helmet and not the face mask.
So they're going to try the point again. It remains 12-0. As there's a look at Josh Wooten, the 7th-year head coach of the Greenon Knights. Spoke with him yesterday. He wanted to disclose some information that he is a fan in particular of the Dallas Cowboys.
Shame on him. Shame. Oh, okay, well, that's fine. The Eagles bandwagon is officially closed at week 1. He's a Cowboy fan. All righty. All right, Coach. Who's in first place right now? The Eagles are undefeated, and the Cowboys are looking at our rearview mirror. They're behind us.
Everybody in the league is looking up at the Eagles right now.
Yes, indeed. NFC champs.
So they're going to retry the 2-point conversion. A high snap over the head of Carpenter, and he's just going to fall on the play to prevent the opportunity for Catholic Central to return the ball for a 2-point conversion. So it remains 12-0.
It's that wet football I was talking about.
The wet field certainly making its presence known, but Greenon, 2 drives and 2 touchdowns on this run from senior Nathan Hartling. 1 broken tackle, 2 broken tackles, and a run of, I believe, close to 30 yards on that play. Actually, a little over 30, more like 36.
You can see the rain there. But it doesn't rain on the football field. That's what my high school football coach taught me. It doesn't rain on the football field. It doesn't get snowy on the football field. Not too much sunshine. It's always just perfect weather conditions when it's a football game. And that is the most important thing.
So there's the scoring summary presented by Rand Associates. 9 plays, 70 yards, and that's been the thing for the Greenon Knights. They've had fairly long fields to go. They went 90 yards on the first drive, 70 yards this drive, but when in doubt, in fourth down situations, give it to Nathan Hartling. So far, he's 2 for 2 with 2 touchdown runs.
And you don't have to wait the first down. You get to them on first, second, and third. And they've done that tonight.
So Catholic Central will get the ball back for their second drive upcoming, and they find themselves in a 2-touchdown hole. But if not for that one flag, they would have had that big run by Xavier Brown on their first play from scrimmage. If they can get another play like that and avoid an offensive flag, they are certainly in business.
Yeah, they have to keep their composure. You know, it's still 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Not the way you drew it up, you know, coming out of the locker room if you're Catholic Central. And here's an onside kick. Squib. Oh, my gosh.
And Caleb Tiener placed it perfectly in between 2 Catholic Central returnees and picked up by Greenon. Clearly traveling the 10 yards on the kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. Hunter Odell was the man who recovers, and Greenon will take over at the Irish 43-yard line.
You know, I just said they got to keep their composure. But you can't take special teams off.
No, you can't.
You know, the front line thought the ball was going to go through to the second level, but it did not. You know, you got to adjust to the conditions of the football field. It's a wet field. The ball's not going to be roll as much as a dry field does.
Clearly traveled 10 yards. That's how long it had to
Great
go
job
before
by Hunter Odell.
Greenon could make contact. So they take over first down at the Irish 43-yard line. So Carpenter back out with one man on his right hip, and he's looking to pass. And now he's going to take off on the left side for his own. He has enough for a small gain to about the 40, and we may have a flag for a late hit.
I know your momentum is going. You're frustrated, but you can't do that. You want to get a hit on the quarterback. You're racing. You know he's going to run out of bounds. You got to pull up.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Late hit. On the defense, number 33. 15 yards. Play results in a first down.
So that is another Knights first down presented by Arby's, and it moves the ball even closer. They'll mark it, looks like the Springfield Catholic Central 24-yard line.
Yeah, Xavier just lost his. It was almost a good tackle, but you got to pull up. You got to have awareness.
On first down, a handoff to Odell up the right side, quickly around one man, and
tackles.
Already into the secondary. He's inside the 15.
Ball's loose.
And the ball is knocked loose. Did Greenon get back on it?
Out of bounds before they could recover it. I think that's what happened. Catholic Central recovered it, but I think it was out of bounds when they had their hands on it.
Well, Greenon says they recover. We'll take a look at the replay here, but Odell on his own had a first down before the ball came loose. So,
and that is why you carry the ball in the outside arm, because it has a tendency to go out of bounds. See, he's out of bounds.
Yes. Right idea, though. A Thrasher would have knocked it loose.
Arm and it got loose. There's a high probability Catholic Central is going to recover that ball.
And with the placement of the ball, that's a first down presented by Arby's for Greenon. It also moves the Knights into the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's a great call for after the game. Donatos.com. A handoff up the middle. This is Hartling again to about the 5. And he's going to be knocked shy, and now maybe some extracurricular activity after the play. It will be second down for Greenon.
I've been noticing there's been a lot of chirping going on amongst the players out there.
And from that angle, you can also see the rain that's coming down. It has been steady from kickoff.
Oh, I love playing in the rain. Yeah, I do. When I was a kid. We better listen to the official. He's taking charge of this. Those are the tough guys on the sideline. No umbrellas.
Oh, yes.
No Parker.
Our staff MVP, Derek, has take a look at the rain. Again, it was raining pretty steady out this afternoon. It kind of dried off a bit around 6 o'clock, 6:30, but ever since kickoff, it's just gotten more and more steady here at Greenon Stadium.
But it only rains in the stands. It doesn't rain on the football
Exactly.
field. Only in the stands. That's why they got there. There's no umbrellas on, between the white lines. It's only in the stands where it gets wet, not on the football field. It's mind over matter. Speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, I remember Thanksgiving 1993. It was snowing. The last time it snowed in Dallas on Thanksgiving.
Right,
and the running back for the
Stadium.
Miami Dolphins went 77 yards on those Dallas Cowboys. And I did a snow angel.
Oh.
That's where you see all the snow angels today. I was the first one to do the snow angel in an NFL game. So now they snow angels and confetti. But I did that on Coach Wooten's Cowboys. Okay.
So right now, Ray Bradshaw and one of his colleagues is consulting with Catholic Central head coach Jim Dimitroff, and another one of the officials is speaking with Josh Wooten over on the Greenon sideline. Right now, as it stands, there are just over 2:20 to go, I should say, in the first quarter. Greenon with a 12-0 lead, and they're on the drive again after a successful onside kick that caught the Irish off guard. And now Bradshaw looks like he's ready to make a ruling.
Are they making dinner reservations tonight? Or what are they going to do this weekend? Is that what they were discussing?
Good question.
Okay.
Jim Dimitroff, again, in his second season after years as an assistant and also a head coach at various schools in Clark County, but also in the Columbus area. He was one of the head coaches at the old Springfield North High School. But it looks like the conversation between him and referee Ray Bradshaw has finished for the moment.
Little trivia. Springfield North, they're Wildcats. Were they the Wildcats or South was the Wildcats?
That is a good question. I think maybe South who was the Wildcats. Springfield North may have been another mascot.
Somebody from Springfield is going to call and tell us.
Or if you're following us on our Facebook page, be sure to comment. So it looks like we're about ready to resume play. It is 2nd and 4 from, looks like, the 5-yard line. And another quick snap for Greenon. Almost met behind the line of scrimmage, but Hartling does well just to try to get back to the line of scrimmage. It will still be 3rd down. Another 3rd down opportunity for the Irish defense to make another stop.
Well, how do you stop a running back? Don't let him get started. They got a nice hit on him in the backfield before he got his shoulder square. Look, the ball almost came loose. That's why he got 2 hands on it.
And it was Brody Adams credited with the tackle. Xavier Brown also making contact. So on 3rd and 2, as Greenon going for a 3-touchdown lead. It's a run up the middle for Aiden Carpenter. He looks to have enough room for the QB keeper touchdown.
Everybody's saying touchdown except the striped shirts. And finally.
And the far judge lifting both arms into the air. So a 2-yard touchdown run on the QB keeper from Aiden Carpenter. That's a touchdown presented by Donatos, and it is an 18-0 ball game.
3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Can you start? And it's homecoming. Can you get after Ohio State? I hope you're watching this. We need our Buckeyes to start like this on Saturday against Maryland.
Well, both teams tonight here have the same record. Ohio State and Maryland, when they play on Saturday, will have the same record. As here's the extra point attempt by Caleb Teener. It is up and it is good. So first extra point of the night is successful with 1:42 to play in the opening quarter. Greenon 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and the Knights have a 19-0 lead against Springfield Catholic Central. As here's another look at the replay. Carpenter up the middle for a touchdown run. He never was actually stopped. I'm not sure why they, in hindsight, why they took so long to make the call.
The question. I think the referees they thought he still had the ball was still in the scrum.
Here's a look at the scoring summary. 5 plays, 43 yards, presented by Rand Associates. And you see the 2-yard run by Aiden Carpenter, but you would also argue that very important to the drive was how it began. It began by catching the Irish off guard and fielding an onside kick.
You're right. That is how it started.
Yep.
Yeah, so that is.
So certainly that will be on the minds of Jim Dimitroff and his coaching staff.
That front line is going to be ready this time.
We get ready for the upcoming kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. 2 men are back deep for Catholic Central.
Front line, those 5 guys up front, you can't get outflanked. That's why Hunter Odell was able to run by, the end man at a kick return. See, the players are wearing pink tonight. It's October.
It is October Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yep.
Again, we mentioned Springfield Catholic Central, not the largest roster, only just a few players, as this is taken by Adam Thomas, quickly cutting upfield, and he's able to break actually a tackle close to midfield. So Springfield Catholic Central will have a short field to work with, as Adam Thomas refusing to go down until forward progress is stopped. And in fact, it is indeed a 1st and 10 upcoming for the Irish at midfield exactly. So the spark that the Irish needed after a first quarter that has not gone according to plan for them.
No, I was just counting the players on the sideline for Central Catholic. Catholic Central, I'm sorry if I keep on reversing and moving around, so I apologize to Springfield Catholic Central. But you said they are, they don't have as many bodies. They only have, I think, 5 guys on the sideline.
About 15, 16 players total on their roster. They are Division 7, Greenon Division 5, as 1st and 10, the Irish, this is their second drive of the game. And it's Noah Thrasher on the QB keeper. Quickly found a hole out to the 45 to the 42-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of 8 on the QB keeper from the wide receiver turned converted quarterback Noah Thrasher, the senior. He is also the middle of 3 brothers.
So I played multiple positions too once I got to the NFL. And so guys are like, we don't know where to vote for you to Pro Bowl. Are you a fullback or you're a tight end? You slide? I was like, I play offensive football.
Exactly.
So I just play offense. So same with Noah Thrasher. He plays offense. You don't worry about, like in the NBA, it's like bigs and small. He just plays offense. He can run the ball, throw the ball, whatever they need to do, catch it.
And here's Connor Cordell, the freshman who lines up under center. Handoff to Xavier Brown. He has a first down quickly inside the 30 and continuing his run to the 26-yard line. So a effective second down run from Xavier Brown, and that is a first down for the Irish presented by Arby's.
Wow, this is just running with authority. Look at Xavier. He has somewhere to go. Get off me. He's running hard. Love that. Running behind his shoulder pads, running with authority. And he also plays defense. That frustration you had on defense, you get to take it out now on the offensive side of the ball when they hand it to you.
So after the first down pickup, Thrasher back at quarterback from the shotgun.
Another carry.
Another pitch to Brown. He's quickly inside the 20, got around one man and still in bounds. And Xavier Brown into the end zone for a touchdown.
He's a football player.
No
right
flag on the play, and that touchdown presented by Donatos. In the final minute of the first quarter, the Fighting Irish of Springfield Catholic Central are on the board.
That's exactly what they needed. You didn't want to get a goose egg in the first quarter, and the other team's offense was 3 for 3. They needed this drive, and they needed to answer it. And, hey, they went with the playmakers, and they went with the big number 33, Xavier Brown, and Noah Thrasher. Kept the ball in their hands. Just keep it simple.
Now it looks like their baby information. They might go for 2 to try to trim the deficit to 11 points.
Yeah, they don't want to break the huddle with 12.
No,
they said he's counting.
They've actually got Charlie Axtell, the kicker, number 52, putting his tee down. And, yeah, Thrasher is in now hold
Greenon
formation.
Didn't miss their first extra point, so every point counts.
And now we have a flag before the snap.
Kick just got 5 yards longer.
That's going to move it back 5 yards.
It's best I did get a penalty because that kick was getting blocked.
I thought I saw it trickle backward. Catholic Central was able to block the PAT after Greenon's first touchdown. So Axtell to kick, Thrasher to hold, snap down. Kick is up this time. It is long enough.
Is it straight enough?
It is off to the side.
No, it hooked right before it got to the upright. 5 yards makes a difference sometimes, huh?
But Springfield Catholic Central on the board thanks to this 26-yard run from Xavier Brown, number 33, the sophomore. Got to the edge and outran everybody. He had plenty of space on that left side.
That's excellent blocking at the point of attack. Wide receivers, be careful. We got called for holding again.
It was a big run.
Nice run. Super run.
It was a big run for Brown on their first play from scrimmage. That got called back a bit because of holding, but no flag on this play. A 3-play, 50-yard drive resulting in a 26-yard touchdown run by sophomore running back Xavier Brown. And it is 19-6. 4 touchdowns in this first quarter.
See Xavier Brown over there getting some Gatorade. Stay hydrated because you're going to need. You got a lot of work to do tonight. You know, I played both ways when I was in high school.
Yep.
But I didn't play special teams.
Oh.
So I need to get some blow. But he's jogging out there for kickoff team right now. The only special team I was on was punt team, and that's it, punt team.
Yep.
I took kickoff team off, punt return, and kick return off.
So this kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. It's going to be Charlie Axtell kicking the ball away to Greenon. You got Colton Workman and Kai Ricks back to receive. Workman had I
would have learned onside. But he didn't.
And this kickoff is deep. Workman was met at his own 10-yard line, and this ball is going to go into the end zone. Almost went out of bounds, but it goes back for a touchback. So 15 seconds left. Greenon will have at least one more play in this first quarter. There's another look at Jim Dimitroff. Definitely much more happy with how that last drive went for the Irish offense as they were able to get on the board.
Now you need to go get a defensive stop. You know, you got your offense on track. Now your defense need to get involved in this game. You're 0 for 3 in stopping them. You have to get off the field.
They did have Green in the fourth down situations their first two drives, but both of those drives, it was handoffs up the middle to Nathan Hartling, and he was able to find touchdowns on both those instances. So first down from the 20, 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. I think maybe the rain may have softened a bit, the pace of the rain, and now we've got a timeout. As Josh Wooten wants to talk things over.
It's a different kind of timeout.
Actually looks like a couple of the assistants right now meeting with the offensive unit.
I guess what you want to do if you're Greenon, you know, you had the momentum this whole quarter. You want to end the quarter the right way. You know, Catholic Central got points in this quarter. You know, so you want to, you know, keep momentum on your side. Catholic Central wants to steal it and keep it on theirs right now. You know, they're only going to have time for one play unless they throw it to end this quarter.
And one thing I have noticed about Greenon, they've been very quick about when they break the huddle and get up to the line of scrimmage. They don't waste a lot of time trying to catch the defense off guard. They just are ready to snap the ball and run quick plays. They have been up-tempo in that sense.
Your defense has a tendency to overanalyze what the offense is in, even though it shows. And then they wait for some movement, and then before you let the ball snap, you have them looking for ghost. It is a time of the year. Halloween is around the corner.
Just a few weeks away. So 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Carpenter will take the shotgun snap, hand off to Odell up the right side. He quickly finds a hole, trying to spin past one man, and is it good for a gain of about 6. And that is how the first quarter will end, on a Hunter Odell 6-yard run. And a very successful first quarter for the Greenon Knights. But Catholic Central does get on the board in the final minute before the break. A touchdown run from Xavier Brown has made it a 19-6 ball game. Second quarter after the break on Lee's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers. We're about ready to begin the second quarter from Greenon Stadium just outside Enon, Ohio, the side of Week 8 of Lee's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers. Greenon right now facing second down and 5 with a 19-6 lead to work with. Aiden Carpenter will start the second quarter from shotgun. High snap, controlled, a handoff to Odell quickly
got a convoy in front of him
with a first down, and quickly down the sideline. There is a flag. Odell still on his feet, eventually edged out of bounds inside the 50, but we'll take a look at the flag, which is back at the Greenon 42-yard line.
I'm interested to see what I see holding. Whoa. That's probably why that play looked so good.
Well, Springfield Catholic Central in the first quarter had a big run that was called back because of holding, and Greenon looks like they're going to have to back up a bit themselves. Excuse me.
I mean, they had second and 5 and just ran for a big first down. Now it's going to be second and at least 15.
Where they're marking it, about the 26-yard line, it doesn't look that much further than the original line of scrimmage.
number 3, that was Michael Lipscomb.
So second and short on the play, as here's another handoff to Odell. Quickly trying to reverse field. He's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage for a loss, as again Xavier Brown, he had the Irish touchdown late in the first quarter, and he makes the stop to force a third and long for the Knights offense.
Now you got to let the center know those snaps are coming down. That's 3 snaps in a row that's been high. That's the quarterback's job, is to let him know to get the snap down. Aiden Carpenter's got to just let the center know. You would hate for him to have to snap one over his head.
So 3rd and 9 upcoming. Greenon, all 3 of their drives so far have resulted in touchdowns. This is their 4th of the ball game. But they have, I don't think, have had a 3rd and long like this. Here's a pass. It's quickly intercepted by the Irish. One man to beat. Charlie Axtell gets into the end zone for a Springfield Catholic Central touchdown.
Wow, nice interception. He just stepped right into the lane. Go ahead.
That touchdown presented by Donatos. What a play by Charlie Axtell, and a huge break in favor of the Irish.
That's what you needed to get back in this game. You needed a defensive stop. Not only did they get a defensive stop, they got a pick 6 out of it. Unbelievable. Great. This is a great anticipation. Jump right into the pass lane, and, you know, we always tease defense players that they can't catch, but he caught that one and took it to the house. Excellent job.
Well, Carpenter was trying to complete the pass to Caden Johnson, number 7. That was the intended receiver, and Axtell read that play perfectly, getting in front of Johnson. And it was a situation where I think only Carpenter was the only Greenon defender who had a reasonable chance of stopping Axtell from a pick 6, and Axtell able to ultimately get into the end zone.
That's how you turn things around. You know, Greenon won the first quarter easily, and then who's going to win the second quarter? Well, right now it's only less than a minute, 57 seconds in, and Springfield Catholic has made their presence known with that pick 6. That's a momentum shift.
That is a huge momentum shift. Brings it back to a one-possession game, and right now, after a timeout, we're going to see what, in your mind, do you take the extra point attempt because you are 0 for 1 so far, or do you try and go for 2 right now?
I'm going to go for 2. You know,
and you think, no doubt, that's the debate the Irish are having right now. Go for 2.
You're going to need a touchdown in it. You know, it's a 7-point game right now.
So Charlie Axtell, number 50.
chance to make it 6-point, but
Axtell, the pick 6. I believe that's the first pick 6 we've had on Thursday Night Lights this season.
I believe you're right.
And they are going to attempt
kick the extra point.
The extra point, and
make
usually
it a touchdown game.
Usually it's Axtell who attempts the kicks, but this time it's Berkeley Whittle lining up. The hold from Thrasher.
Nice kick.
Kick on the way, right down the middle. It is good. And a dream start to the second quarter for the Irish. A pick 6 from Charlie Axtell has made it a 6-point game. Greenon will get the ball back, but their 19-point lead has been trimmed to 6 on week 8 of Thursday Night Lights. 11:03 to go in the second quarter from Greenon Stadium. The Springfield Catholic Central Irish have scored 2 touchdowns. In terms of game time, they've only come a minute and 12 seconds apart. A 26-yard run from Xavier Brown, and then roughly the same distance covered by Charlie Axtell on a pick 6, the most recent touchdown, and the Irish are now within 6 at 19-13 as they get ready to kick the ball away to Greenon. This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. It is Axtell who will send it away.
We got in the ball game.
And going to take a couple of hops before eventually being picked up, brought back across the 20, and eventually going out of bounds is Kai Hicks. So that's where Greenon will take over. So now a new situation in this game for Josh Wooten and the Knights. They were very effective in the first quarter, both on offense and defense, and now momentum has shifted completely to the Irish. So what do Greenon specifically need to do to get that momentum back?
Just do what you did, how you built that lead. Don't get too cute. Keep it simple, and just get back to that running game. Get back, make them throw the ball. Make you have to throw the ball. They only completed, I think, 1 pass tonight. Not that they've only thrown it 3 or 4 times. Just remember how you started this game, and just pick up where get back to the basic fundamentals.
From the 19-yard line, that's where the Knights will start this drive with exactly 11 minutes to go in the quarter. Carpenter, again, another high snap, but he's able to control it. And he's quickly out to close to another first down. This should be.
Yeah, I said, get back to the basics of running the football. And then when I say basics, I mean get back to Nate Hartling.
That was Michael Lipscomb on the carry, number 3.
Yeah, but I know. Hey, got to wear a face mask there. But I'm saying get the ball to Nate Hartling before this drive is over with.
He does have the first 2 touchdowns of the night for the Knights.
But they have a balanced attack. You got to get other guys involved as well. But right now, let that offensive line, they're the heroes of this game right now. They're winning the battle in the trenches. Michael Lipson runs the ball well, too. He's senior.
Here's a push pitch to Odell. Quickly got past one man, but he won't get past the second or third. And
that momentum shift, you feel it?
It will do all he can to just get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up third down again. Greenon has not punted the ball. In fact, they were perfect 3 for 3 in the first quarter on drives ending in touchdowns. Their fourth drive, though, ended in a pick 6.
So how's this fifth one? They have been starting to turn. You got them in third and, somewhat medium to long.
Yeah, they are giving it a loss, so third down and looks like maybe 6.5 coming up. Need to get to
They're not showing blitz, so they're rushing 3 and dropping 8.
Need to get to the 29-yard line.
Another high snap, but you got to get that ball down.
That's been an issue all night long so far, as Carpenter eventually going to be forced out of bounds. Maybe lost a couple more on the play, so it's going to be fourth down. And I think we may see a punt for the first time tonight, but we do have a flag.
I would have to decline this and go to fourth down.
But you mentioned this, and again, the wet field.
That throws the timing off everything.
Holding. Offense number 50. That penalty is going to be declined. Fourth down.
Aiden Carpenter's got to communicate with the center. You got to get the ball down. You got to get it down.
You heard referee Ray Bradshaw that the Irish are declining the penalty, so we will have our first punt of the night. It comes at 10:04 in the second quarter.
A little frustration on the Greenon offensive line's faces there.
And a couple early movements. We're not going to get the play.
I'm not sure if that's
off.
on an offense or defense. I think the defense influenced him to come out of his stance, but I'm going to let the referees, figure it out.
Well, it was more than 5 to go, so if it is on the defense, it would still be fourth down.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense.
That's what I thought.
5 yards, fourth down.
So now it brings up 4th and 3. You had this situation on your first drive. You hand it off to Hartwing, he scores a touchdown. You had this situation on your second drive, hand it off to Hartwing, he scores a touchdown. That said, both those drives, they were well in the red zone or just outside the red zone. Now you're well back on your side of the field. Do you risk it because you're right now not completely in the shadow of your own zone, but out at your own 25?
Yeah, I got to punt this one. Because right now, Springfield Catholic has the momentum on their side. And they're going to get great field position here again. Did he get on the other side of the field? Wow.
Teener's kick, it looks like
he's walking it back now.
And they will mark it straight at midfield. So another short field to work with for the Irish. That's been the key for them. Their first drive, which resulted in a touchdown, they only had to go, I think, about 50 yards. And they were able to capitalize with points. Now a touchdown and an extra point here, and they're in front for the first time.
Yeah, now it's time for Greenland's defense a must-need stop. To give your offense the ball back to get a chance for you to expand that lead to 2 scores instead of 1.
So 10 minutes to go until halftime on homecoming night for the Greenon Knights, but it is the Irish who have taken this momentum swing and seized it. Late in the first and now in the second quarter. Thrasher looking deep, has a man wide open. It was thrown a little bit behind him.
That slippery field. He wanted to come back for it, but he lost his footing. But he'll take the reception just the same.
It is Owen Young on the catch. Yes, we do have to say it is a catch, and it is good for an Irish first down presented by Bathmasters. But if Young hadn't lost his feet, he could very easily have had a touchdown. And his expression there, he knows he could have gotten them for 6.
Hey, but I caught a big pass on Thursday Night Lights, and I'll show it to my kids in 10 or 15 years from now.
That pass good for a 24-yard completion to the 26-yard line. So that's where the Irish line up for another first down.
Keep her all the way.
Thrasher up the middle. Across the 25 to about the 24, so a gain of 2.
A lot of black shirts there. Somebody didn't get the memo that he was quarterback keeping. Want to see Xavier Brown get the ball again pretty soon.
Brown has the lone offensive touchdown. Remember, the Irish second touchdown coming on a pick 6 from Charlie Axtell. Second and 8 upcoming from the Greenon 24-yard line. Connor Cordell, handoff from under center, and going to be met for no gain, if any, maybe even a loss, but it will still be third down and long.
Yeah,
First time,
quarterback dive. He was waiting on it.
First time in the while the Irish have been in this position, and you're at the 24-yard line. If you don't get any closer, you're looking at a 41-yard field goal attempt. But in this situation, it's
two-down territory.
For the Irish, it's 2 downs.
2 downs to make 8 yards.
So here's a big play coming up for the Greenon defense. If they can get a stop, that is equally huge in terms of getting the momentum back after they had done so well in the first quarter.
You got to get set. There's only 5 seconds to go in the play clock.
Thrasher met from behind, and he's going to be taken down for a sack past the 30. That was number 60, Roman DeBolt, with the stop. A much-needed play for the Greenon defense.
It looks like he was trying to set up for a throwback screen, but it never got a chance to get developed. They were all over him.
So a loss of about 7 on the play pushes them back past the 30. It's going to bring up 4th and 16 as Jim Dimitrov giving instructions to Owen Young.
Yeah, I thought they would still maybe punt it from here, but he's going to play field position. They worst case scenario, barring the sack, that's where they would start their drive. But he believes they're going to get it. Rolling left.
Thrasher with time. Going to air it downfield, intended for Young, and he nearly had it.
I think it went through his hands, but the Greenon defender distracted it just enough to swipe it right in front of his eyes.
It was Colton Workman who jumped in front of Young. I'm not sure if he got contact, but it definitely Young, the receiver, made contact on the sideline.
He just swiped at it. Ooh, it got on him too quick.
Just
excellent play.
Break of concentration. Big risk, big reward on a high risk, high reward play on the part of Catholic Central. If that had worked and Young is in the end zone for a touchdown, Catholic Central right now will be kicking a PAT to take the lead. So now Greenon dodges a bullet after it looks like Catholic Central had grabbed the momentum of their own. Now Greenon with a chance to go downfield and restore a 2-possession lead with 7:15 to go until halftime. Carpenter hit from behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to be taken down for a loss of about 2.
You know, I remarked in the first quarter how I like to see teams repeat plays, especially successful plays. You may have to go a little deeper now because I think Catholic Central is keyed in on all the keys, and they're not being tricked anymore. Now it comes down to a game of just physicality. And Greenon has won that early in the first quarter, but now toward the end of the second quarter, end of the first quarter, end of the second, the momentum has shifted. So Greenon needs this drive to get reestablished.
A direct snap here on second down to Kai Ricks. He quickly broke 1 tackle and almost broke a second. He gets a couple of yards on the gain, so bring up 3rd and about 8 it looks like, but still another 3rd and long situation.
You got to convert these 3rd downs coming up.
That was Xavier Brown on the tackle, as first time we've seen a direct snap for Kai Ricks, the running back.
Kai Ricks is a young player, only a sophomore. They may get a. Did they break the huddle with 12 people?
And we do have a flag from Ray Bradshaw.
Substitution infraction on the offense. 5 yards.
Sometimes the coach got to burn a timeout to save that call.
Well, both teams have already called 2 timeouts. They're down to 1 each left, and with still 6 minutes to go in the half. Yes, the timeouts reset after halftime, but that basically negates
a 3rd down.
That negates the run that Ricks had on second down, so it's going to be 3rd and 12. They need to get to the 42-yard line.
Well, you got to protect first if you're going to pass the ball.
And they are sending 4 men, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Michael Lipscomb is the lone man back. And Carpenter's going to keep it himself up to the 35. And he's got a first down quickly out to the 45.
He's still on his feet.
Still on his feet inside Catholic Central territory and taken down about the 47. So they needed 12. They get more than 20. And Carpenter, he comes up a little gimpy, but he does have a first down presented by Bathmasters.
Wow.
Limping a bit, I should say.
Called. His quarterback draw the whole way. Get the defense to, drop back into coverage, and you make a guy miss.
That was Berkeley Little who first made contact, but couldn't quite bring Carpenter stop his progress, and Carpenter was able to get a couple more yards out of the play, but Greenon keeps the drive alive.
That's the momentum we were talking about.
Another bobbled snap, even though he was right in the center. Odell's going to be met back behind the 50, driven back into Greenon territory. That's going to bring up 2nd and long. Can't take it for granted on the wet field. Can't take it for granted, even lining up under center. The wet field will have its say. And you saw potentially a bobbled snap, almost a disaster for Greenon.
And it's also a wet football.
At this point in time,
put that ball right back down in the ground, and the referee's holding it now. But at some point, he has to put the ball on the ground.
Loss of 4 on the play, so it's 2nd and 14 right from midfield.
Center, Dayton Lucas is the center. Make sure you get a good grip. That's a good snap.
Hand off to Michael Lipscomb up the left side. Quickly being chased behind the line of scrimmage, and he, in fact, is going to be met for another loss, so it's going to bring up 3rd and about 16, but we do have a flag.
Yeah, new laundry on the field.
Could Greenon get a break from this flag? No, it's referee Ray Bradshaw indicating holding.
He didn't hesitate.
Offense number 6, 10 yards. Take it out.
When they run so much on the edge, it's right in phase with that line judge. And so as soon as he sees your hand go outside of his shoulder pad, you're going to get a call more often than not. There it is right there. Number 6, for Greenon. He did try to hook him.
So
2nd down.
down.
We've been calling your name for good things. We got to call your name for something bad that time, Hunter.
2nd down and more than 20 now. They have
made chunk plays, so.
They have made big plays so far tonight, but so has Catholic Central. A direct snap up the middle from Ricks, maybe a face mask potentially, but he's quickly out back to midfield. It brings up 3rd down and about 14 upcoming.
A little misdirection in the backfield there.
And no flag on the play. Looked like maybe a face mask. It was a short snap to Ricks.
I don't see a punt on the field.
Well, it is only 3rd down.
Oh, the penalty threw me off.
Yep. Clock now under 4 minutes to go until halftime. How big a score would be for either team right now?
Back to the full house backfield.
And Carpenter on the keeper.
Yeah.
And he's going to be tripped up by Berkeley Little, who got down and made sure that the quarterback for Greenon could not get much past him. It is a gain of about 2, but they needed 14, so it's going to bring up 4th and a little more than 11.
I like that splash. Why don't that water step up when you try to cut? It's mushy down there.
So Greenon will punt with just about 200 seconds to go until halftime. Caleb Tiener is the punter.
I'm telling my defense, hustle downfield. It's a wet football. He may drop this. Let them try to jinx him.
Noah Thrasher is the man back deep. He's going to try and return it from the 21-yard line, quickly to the 25, and he's going to be met there, and forward progress will be marked after about a 4-yard gain. 3:02 to go until halftime. Catholic Central with a chance to take the lead for the first time tonight, and we'll have that drive after the break. You're watching Lee's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers. 3:02 to play in the second quarter on week 8 of Lee's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers. We greet you from Greenon, Ohio. Greenon Knights with a 19-13 lead against the Springfield Catholic Central Fighting Irish. Greenon jumped out to a 19-0 lead in the first quarter, but Catholic Central has quickly narrowed the gap on a 26-yard touchdown run by Xavier Brown and a 25-yard interception return for a touchdown early in the second quarter from Charlie Axtell. And now the Irish with a chance to go downfield and get their first lead of the night right before halftime. Noah Thrasher with a pitch to Xavier Brown, who quickly gets out to the 25-yard line. And the ball may have come loose. Greenon saying they have it. And it is a turnover. First turnover forced by the Greenon defense tonight. A huge break with 2:52 to go in the first half.
In minus territory also. That's why you run to the ball as a defender. I think this is the case of Xavier Brown trying to do too much. But now I'll take that back, Xavier. That's just better defense.
That was...
Who's got a hand on that football? Right across the body.
That was Owen Fagan, number 23, who knocked the ball loose, and a Knights defender was right there to seal the recovery. So we've had 2 turnovers total tonight, one for the Knights, which was the pick 6 early in the second quarter, and now this is Catholic Central's first turnover of the night. Can the Knights capitalize? It's a direct snap
2 times in a row.
Takai Ricks trying to get an angle to the right side. He's going to be met for no game by Xavier Brown, trying to make up for
trying to get that fumble back.
The turnover.
Physical, I love him. He can play for me. He can play on my team anytime.
And the Greenon Knights running backs, who were so successful in the opening minutes of this game, they have not quite had the same amount of success in the second quarter, as Aiden Carpenter is back in the game at quarterback.
You know, that tells me that Catholic Central are honing in on the fundamentals, the little things. You know, when they were getting outflanked, those are mental mistakes more so than physical mistakes.
On second and long, Carpenter up the middle. He has enough for about a 2-yard gain, so back past the original line of scrimmage. And we're going to have a 3rd down and 9 upcoming.
He's trying to stand up here in the booth. A little tangled.
Carpenter back on the sideline for this play, so looks like another direct snap upcoming. Ricks is the deep man back. Everyone else bunched up as blockers.
It's like the Philly scrum. That's penetration, but then
Ricks to the right side, past one man, past a couple man. He's close to about the 20. That looks like he might have enough for the first down. We'll see the forward progress.
It's going to be close.
Well, the near judge on our side is signaling first down. Don't even have to measure, and that's been the thing. You've mentioned the theme of Thursday Night Lights referees. They don't take time. Either they reached the line to gain or they didn't. No gray area.
Very definitive. You know, I was speaking to the referees before the game. How do you know when he got the first down? You don't bring the chain gain out too much. And they gave me a great example of why.
Here's Ricks, another carry into the 16-yard line. That pickup was a Greenon first down presented by Bathmasters. And now they have also entered the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza, a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important.
Yeah, the referees told me on field turf fields, which is, we're playing on natural grass today, it's a lot easier than it is on grass. So on grass fields tonight, when it's real close, you'll see the chain game.
Ricks thought about throwing from the direct snap. He's quickly up the middle, inside the 10. That's going to bring up another Greenon first down.
There's that Greenon offensive line getting it done in the trenches right now. These guys are sticking and staying on a pancake block there.
So Ricks with the carry for another night first down presented by Bathmasters. And now Ricks actually had to head off to the sideline for a bit.
Oh, look at that, man. That's good hard running.
That's Michael Lipscomb inside the 5, and now I think Greenon's going to call their final timeout. As we take a look at the halftime show coming up, we'll have the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group Scholar Athlete of the Week. We select one student athlete from both Springfield Catholic Central High School and from Greenon High School, so we will beat those at halftime. And coming up, interviews with several school figures, school administrators from both the Catholic Central and Greenon High School communities. That's all coming up on the Thursday Night Lights halftime show. As Greenon right now with 2nd and goal from the 4 with 25 seconds left. Again, they took the opening kickoff, so Catholic Central will get the ball after halftime. If Greenon can get a touchdown here, that will be huge in terms of getting back momentum and reestablishing a 2-possession game, especially because Catholic Central will get the ball after the break.
Absolutely. You know, as an offensive player, or a football player in general, you want to start the half fast, and you want to end it fast. And that stuff that happens in between each half, that's what carries you. You got to sustain it. So when you get a good fast start, you can carry it through to the second quarter, and you want to go in at halftime with finishing on a high note. And if Greenon gets this ball in the end zone, that would be the way, to end this game. End this half on the uptick, by answering those 13 unanswered points that Catholic Central has put on them.
On second down, Carpenter under center with 3 backs all behind him. It's Nathan Hartling, who has 2 touchdowns already. He looks close to a 3rd. They may mark him down at the 1.
But they got the clock is going to be running. They better get moving quick.
Timeout, Greenon.
Greenon.
Oh, so that was Catholic Central who called their their final timeout a few moments ago. My mistake on that.
They too got me. I thought for sure that was Greenon. My bad.
It had to have been.
No, nobody has any timeouts. What do you call? It's third and go. If you don't get it, do you have enough time for the fourth down?
If it's an incomplete pass, they will.
Yeah, that's true.
Or if they get out of bounds, too.
But I'm going to take my chances and run that thing with Nate Hartman. Call 2 plays in a huddle and give it to your stud of a running back.
And that's right now what the Knights are discussing as they look for their first touchdown since the 1:42 mark of the first quarter. It was a 2-yard QB keeper up the middle from Aiden Carpenter that made it 19-0. And since then, Catholic Central has scored 2 touchdowns to get back into the game. But again, a huge momentum factor if Greenon can get 6 right here, right at the end of the first half.
Every point counts. Every drive counts. You don't take it, for granted. I mean, imagine what is the halftime speech going to be for Greenon if they score. A little bit more upbeat. The halftime speech for Catholic Central going to be a little less because I'm glad you came back and won the second quarter. Finished the half off the right way. Here we go.
And it is Carpenter with the QB keeper up the middle. He should be in for another Greenon touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run from junior Aiden Carpenter, his second of the night. And it is a 25-13 lead for the Knights on a touchdown presented by Donatos.
Yeah, I like that. Just go quarterback sneak. That offensive line had been, winning, most of this half in the trenches. No timeouts. Give them a shot.
So the first minute of the second quarter, Carpenter throws a pick 6. And in the final minute of the second quarter, he goes for a 1-yard touchdown run. The extra point is low, so it remains a 12-point game. But Greenon back in front by 2 possessions at 25-13. Here's another look at that touchdown run. You see the 3 running backs behind him, Lipscomb, Barajas, and Hartling, just in case the ball were to have been knocked loose.
Yes, they're looking at the backfield, waiting for some misdirection, and then they just get you right at the gut with the center, quarterback, and guards, tackles. Just a great, excellent, execution of the quarterback sneak. And that misdirection has them always looking for something. But the first key, watch the ball in front of you. The quarterback, he's the closest one to the end zone, and got it done.
So now there will be a kickoff with 13 seconds left. Springfield Catholic Central down 2 possessions, but they will be getting the ball to start the second half because they won the coin toss and deferred. Is the scoring summary.
I'm not sure if Xavier Brown is on kickoff return, for Catholic Central, but I wouldn't. If he is, I'm not going to let him get it in space. I'm not going to kick it to him.
Scoring summary presented by Rand Associates, going 8 plays, 70 yards as Greenon getting back to what worked for them in the first quarter. Long drives, chewing up a lot of clock, and ultimately ending in points. And the 1-yard touchdown run by the 6'1 junior quarterback, Aiden Carpenter. Caleb Tiener will kick the ball away for Greenon. 2 men are back deep, and remember, Greenon tried an onside kick and were able to catch the Irish off guard. That led to another touchdown earlier back in the first quarter.
Can't relax. It's still 13 seconds to go in this half.
This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. It's been taken deep. It's going to be taken about the 17-yard line. It's Noah Thrasher quickly cutting right to the 25-30 and runs out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So 7 seconds. You're going to have time for 1 play, barring a defensive penalty. Do you just go for the Hail Mary at this point?
I do. No, I wouldn't. I take that back. I wouldn't call a Hail Mary. I would just call a regular deep pass. And just give my receivers a chance to, just instead of them being grouped up together, give a receiver a chance to catch a ball and break a tackle and score.
Well, Noah Thrasher has seen most of the time under center tonight. The freshman who started the year a quarterback for the Irish, Connor Cordell, he has lined up under center for a few plays this first half. But right now, Greenon a little late, or they're playing prevent defense.
Yeah, got it.
Thrasher going deep downfield, has a man downfield. It's tipped incomplete, and there is no time on the clock, no flag. And that's how the first half comes to a close. Greenon out to a hot start. Springfield Catholic Central finding their footing in the second half, but Greenon with a last-minute touchdown before halftime to go back up 2 scores at 25-13. Tej Joshi right now waiting on Greenon head coach Josh Wooten, and we'll get to him just in a moment, just as soon as he reaches Coach Wooten. But overall, your thoughts on the entertaining first half, Keith?
Yeah, I like the way Greenon started the game. I like the way they ended the half with points on the board. First 3 times they get it, score. The last time they get in the half, they score again. So 25 points. So great, good half.
And now Tage is with Greenon head coach Josh Wooten. Tage?
Coach, a lot of points on the scoreboard that half, and your run game has been looking strong. What's been the key to getting that going?
Well, I think that's what we talked about all week long, and we talked about for the last 2 years is that, we need to control the line of scrimmage. And we were able to do that, and then we kind of got a little, happy with ourselves and let them back in the football game. But that's been our goal all week, and that's what we have to continue to do. We got to control the line of scrimmage and on both sides of the ball. So.
Looking forward to the second half. What's your key? What are you going to say to the guys in the locker room to make sure you have a dominant second half?
Don't let them back in. Don't give them hope, okay? Again, I think I've said this for years. They don't like us. We don't like them, and we don't want to give them hope. And again, we want to dominate the line of scrimmage and on both sides of the ball. And I think we do that, we'll be able to come out victorious.
Coach, I'll let you go share that message with the team. Appreciate you. Of course, back to you guys up in the broadcast booth.
All right, thank you, Tage. Homecoming festivities are underway. They are crowning the king and queen at this moment. And we have the halftime show coming up, including the Scholar Athlete of the Week presentation. Greenon with a 12-point lead at halftime, 25-13. You're watching Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers.
The Halftime Report is sponsored by Wright & Schulte.
25-13 here at halftime. Greenon leads, and as we often do in our halftime reports, we are chatting with community leaders from both schools, starting with the principal here at Greenon, Principal Newport. First of all, it's been a fun day for you guys. Pep rally, homecoming, all the activities. How are you feeling just as a school right now?
Well, homecoming is one of the best weeks of the year. We had a great start to the week with a lot of homecoming festivities. We had our community parade last night. We had hundreds of people that came out for the bonfire. So it's just an exciting time and a great time to be a Greenon Knight.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about what it means to be a Greenon Knight. Let's talk about who you guys are as a school and as a district. So for those who are watching at home and may not know, where exactly are we and what's important to you guys as a school district? What would you say your mission is?
So we are located in Greenon, Ohio, and actually our district stakeholders and community members got together last year and created a new mission statement for our district, which is good people and great minds grow here. And I think it perfectly captures what it means to be a part of this community. It's a great place to learn, it's a great place to live, and it's a great place to raise your kids.
Of course, we've been seeing a lot of fun on the football field tonight, like I said, for a homecoming matchup. I do want to talk about other fall sports for a second here, give everybody a little bit of a shout out. So what other fall sports do you want to make sure people at home know that we give a little attention to tonight?
Well, I think any fall sport, when you talk about our student athletes, all the time and energy they put in, they're putting in 14, 15-hour days to perfect their craft. And so I think, just to celebrate all of our fall sports, all of our student athletes, anytime we get an opportunity to showcase them, it's a great opportunity.
Well, my very last question for you is, what you mentioned is not just athletes, but student athletes, so the importance of academics. How would you describe that here in the entire Greenon community?
We have a lot of momentum right now academically in our district. We have a brand new state-of-the-art facility. We just scored 4 stars on our state report card, which is one of the top scores in Clark County. But we're not finished. We're going to continue. We have a strategic plan and some goals in place. And we want to make Greenon not only one of the best schools in the county, but one of the best schools in the state of Ohio.
Principal Newport, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you so much. And, of course, we're going to have more of our halftime report that's coming up after this commercial break. The score here is 25-13 at halftime. Greenon leads. Back to our halftime show. The score is 25-13 here at halftime. Greenon leads as promised. We are continuing chatting with community leaders from both schools throughout our halftime show. Chatting with Mike Reif, the president of the school, our away team today, Catholic Central. Of course, we want to make sure we chat about who you guys are and what's important to you both as an individual and your entire school. So, Mike, first give me a couple backgrounds here about your school. What does it mean for you guys to be a Catholic school, and also just your mission about what you guys are all about?
Well, we've been around for 95 years. We're going to be the first co-ed Catholic school to reach 100 years in the Archdiocese of Cincinnati. And forever, Catholic Center has produced, fantastic alumni, great servant leaders, made outstanding impact into this community. I mean, it's not hard to see when you go look at some of these businesses here. They're Catholic Center alumni, so it's rooted deeply in building this entire community.
Well, like you said, you've got a lot of positive alumni in the community. I want to talk more about the mission of the school. When you have your student body, what's the mission that you want to get into their brains as young people? What are you promoting to them, making sure that they're learning both as athletes, as student athletes, everything above?
Well, there's always somebody greater. There's a greater God than us. And so we want our kids to be servant leaders. We want them to know that they have opportunities at Catholic Central to go on to college, get into the working world, serve their country, serve their community as well. We've got some exceptional leadership in this year's seniors class, and they're doing some amazing things. We just had a service day. We did some tremendous hours out in the community. We packed a tremendous amount of meals for the LTI initiative. Just doing amazing work every day.
A lot of positive things to talk about. Let's talk about athletics here for a second. Of course, we talked about this with some of your coaches before the game, that definitely a smaller team you guys are fielding this year in terms of number of players, but man, they are playing hard and hanging in there in every game. What do you have to say about that?
They're inspirational. We're led by three really strong seniors, Adam Thomas, Ryan Mullen, and Noah Thrasher. And each day they give their hardest, and they're setting a tremendous example for the underclassmen that says toughness, resilience, you overcome obstacles, you don't accept excuses, you come out and perform every day.
Well, we've been talking about football all night, and of course football gets a lot of attention, rightfully so, but what are some other fall sports you want to make sure people at home know that you guys are proud of to have at your school?
We have just a really exciting women's soccer team. We got 4 great seniors on that team. We have a great men's soccer team doing very well. Our golf does very, very well. So couldn't be happier with the participation. Over 80% of our kids are participating in co-curriculars and sports. So it's very exciting what we got going on over there.
My very last question for you: what can someone in your school's community or at the community at large look forward to seeing from your school and your district in the future? What's circled on the calendar?
Well, absolutely keep producing. I mean, we're the only pre-K through 12 Catholic school. Our kids are on track. So our kids work hard. Our faculty and our staff work, engage, get to know these kids, help them become the best they can be. And it turns around and has an impact in this community.
Well, it was a pleasure to chat with you during our halftime presentation. We appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Of course. Everybody, the score right now is 25-13 here at halftime. Stick around. Our show continues. That's after this coming quick commercial break. The score is 25-13 here at halftime. Greenon is leading, and we are chatting with a senior right here from Greenon High School. This is Griff Turner, and he is, of course, part of homecoming court tonight. You can see his wonderful sash, a member of the basketball team, the golf team, and what you may have seen in some of our cameras tonight, a member of what they call the pit crew in the student section tonight. A lot to unpack here, my man Griff. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
This has probably been a big day for you guys. Homecoming, pep rally. I mean, you give it to me from your perspective. What's today been like? Put it in words.
I mean, every year, homecoming in itself, the week is just, it's a blast. And it's a lot to take in, even being on homecoming court, but even not being on homecoming court. It's just one of the biggest weeks of the year, and then prom is just another one of those things.
Well, I want to mention something that we said in the intro there, pit crew. Now, a lot of schools call this the spirit committee, the spirit squad, but if you're looking for some guys who are having a lot of fun over in the student section right here at Greenon, they call themselves the pit crew. And Griff, tell us all about what you guys do in the pit crew.
So in the pit crew, I got 2 other leaders. They're Eli Howard and Derek Ness, and what we do is we just try to have the best time that we can while cheering for our team. What we also do is every home game we do a food challenge. So today it is hot wings, and every first down we have to eat hot wings. First game of the year was tacos, and then last week it was donuts, and that one really got me.
Who's been eating the hot wings?
Oh, it's been me, all 3 of us. It's been rough. It's been rough. Having to run the flag every touchdown's really rough. Having 4 it's not fun sometimes, but it's a blast all the time.
How hot are these hot wings?
So they're hot, but over time you know, they get soggy and wet, but they're still a great
You guys
time.
are doing some fun stuff, of course, in the student section. I love that. Now, we mentioned you are one of the guys out there leading all the other kids in the student section having a good time watching sports tonight, but you also play sports here, basketball and golf, some of the big ones you're a part of. What can we most looking forward to with the basketball season coming soon? What are you looking forward to?
I'm just looking to being around my guys one more time. It's my senior year. I'm looking to have a great time. Last year wasn't our best year, but I have a good feeling about this year.
You talk to me about golf as well. Is that in the spring?
Golf was just this past fall. We had a great season. We won the OHC. I got second in the conference for Player of the Year voting, and we had a great time. Made it to districts. Unfortunately didn't make it to state, but it was an awesome year.
Well, my last question for you talked about how you were looking forward to having a great senior year. Already having a great senior year. Talk to me about your entire class. I mean, I know you guys have been in school together with each other for a long time. What do we need to know about the community here at Greenon?
We're so close together. There's not many of us. We got the smallest class out of any of us here, so we're really tight, really close together. And I mean, you can't divide us. We're all together no matter what. I mean, we're a great class.
Well, Griff, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. I'll let you get back up to the picture. I know you got more wings to eat.
We'll be there. Don't worry.
Of course. For now, though, we are going to check in with our Scholar Athlete presentation.
Throughout the 2023 season, the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group will recognize an exceptional senior student scholar athlete from each participating school. Here are this week's Jeff Schmidt Auto Group Scholar Athletes. From Catholic Central, Avery Gunther. Avery has a GPA of 4.3164 and is a member of the National Honor Society. She's the Vice President of Student Council and is a member of the In His Image Club. She's an honor roll student and a retreat leader. Avery's a member of the Catholic Central swimming, soccer, and track teams. She's a 4-year letter winner in both soccer and swimming, and a 2-year letter winner in track. Avery's also a 2-time district qualifier in swimming and volunteers as a swim coach for the Springfield Country Club youth swim team. From Greenon, Lily Patrick. Lily is a 4-year member of the varsity football, basketball, and competition cheer teams and the varsity golf team, where she received an all-OHC second team honors. Lily's also a member of the varsity track team. She has a 4.409 GPA and is a member of the National Honor Society and is ranked second in her class academically. Lily is also a member of the Spanish Honor Society, Student Council, and Varsity Chief, and has received Greenon's first, second, and third-year academic awards and the College Board's National Rural and Small Town Award. She enjoys traveling, art, and ballroom dancing, and hopes to earn a doctorate in physical therapy.
The Jeff Schmidt Auto Group is proud to sponsor the Scholar Athlete Award, featured on Thursday Night Lights. We are honored to recognize these scholar athletes from all over the Miami Valley for their outstanding academic and athletic achievements.
I'm attorney Michael Allwright. I'm proud to be a sponsor of Thursday Night Lights again this year. I'm happy to take part in such a great community event. It is an honor to support this sponsorship, bringing families, communities, and people together to celebrate the sportsmanship of all athletes. Let's all celebrate together, and remember, if you've been injured in an accident, make the right choice.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
3rd and 10. Terry to throw. Scans right. Directs traffic. Spins back. Middle of the field. Terry's still on his feet. He's wrapped up. Throws it. It's caught at the 15-yard line. Inside the 10.
On the boundary side. Dragging across the middle, the reception to McCoy. He turns the corner. McCoy lowers the shoulder, breaks a tackle, in! Touchdown!
Hanauer double punts on 3rd and 11. Got him, man! Howard! How did he catch that? It wasn't... Oh, my gosh.
Going to use his legs, throw it to the end zone. That one is caught. Oh, my goodness. Stephen Famoyan put that one on the highlight reel for sure.
On 1st down, has some time. Wants to put it up deep. He's got Enrique James McClair. Touchdown, McCollum.
Baker, clock moving. Rolls right. Baker throws it deep. Touchdown!
And he's going to roll out, throw into the, it's tipped, and he got the ball! He got the ball! The two-point conversion is good! What a play!
The Halftime Report has been sponsored by Wright & Schulte.
Welcome back to Greenon Stadium. It is week 8 of Lee's Thursday Night Lights presented by Cincinnati area Toyota dealers. We are just about ready to start the second half. The Greenon Knights with a 25-13 lead against the Springfield Catholic Central Fighting Irish. Matt Digby, Keith Byers, Tej Joshi, and our crew greeting you from the southwestern portion of Clark County in Ohio. Glad you could join us for what has been an entertaining game so far, and we are optimistic that the second half will live up to the excitement we had in the first half, Keith.
Yes, I mean, we had a lot of offensive fireworks. I mean,
we did.
19 unanswered points, followed by 13 unanswered points, followed by 6 points unanswered. So we've seen some good football in the first half.
Catholic Central won the coin toss back at the beginning of the evening, so they deferred, and they will take this kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. And Greenon caught the Irish off guard earlier in the first quarter on an onside kick, but the Irish are not fooled in this instance. Maurice Thomas with the recovery, and that's going to actually set up the Irish for a first down at about the 37-yard line. There was the start of the game. It was Nathan Hartling with a couple of fourth down conversions for touchdowns, and he was able to help Greenon establish an early 12-0 lead. Aiden Carpenter with a 1-yard touchdown run made it 19-0. But then Catholic Central was able to get back into the game. A couple big plays from Xavier Brown, and then a pick six, which you'll see in a few moments, from Charlie Axtell that made it a 6-point game at 19-13. As actually we'll bring you back live on first down to pitch out to Xavier Brown. He's met behind for a loss on the play. Going to bring up second and about 15 on the plays, maybe 16.
Yeah, Xavier, you don't want to turn your back to the defense too often.
We take a look at the halftime stats. Greenon, again, they've had success moving the ball up and down the field. Catholic Central hasn't had as much success with the total yards, but again, they have that pick six that got them right back in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have a turnover. You know, the penalties are about the same, but I think Catholic Central has to get their running game started, and what better way than get that ball to Xavier Brown. Try to balance out this running game. Because Green is definitely going to run it.
On second and long, Noah Thrasher going to screen a wheel route to Owen Young. He has about a 5-yard gain as he looks to get back to the original line of scrimmage. It is still going to bring up third down and long for the Irish.
I mean, with tackling, you know, it comes into play right now. I think if you're Green, you want to keep everything in front of you. Just get them on the ground. Don't give up any chunk yardages.
And that's been one thing they were successful in the first half. They Catholic Central, they really only had just a handful of chunk plays, including the pick six.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be key, especially the second half. And you want us to get out to a first down to start your half off, and here we go.
On third down and 11, Thrasher's pass intercepted by the Greenon Knights. That is Caden Johnson with the turnover, third turnover overall, and the second turnover by the Irish. And that is a big momentum swing in favor of the Knights.
Yeah, when you're rolling left right there, you have to get your feet. So he couldn't get enough on the pass. They had a receiver open, but the ball kind of floated on him and allowed the safety, to get over the top. I mean, Caden Johnson made an excellent play on it, breaking on the ball.
Berkeley Little was the intended receiver, but he looked to be a little bit further away from the ball, and just like Axtell on his interception return, Johnson just stepped in front of the intended target.
I'm over here hollering, Oski, Oski. That's what we said at Ohio State when you saw an interception.
And a bobbled snap, but we do have a flag on the play as Greenon gets set for their first offensive play in the second half.
Dead ball. False start offense. 32. 5 yards. First down.
Greenon caught a break there, huh?
They did. 10:58 to go in the third quarter. And that will back them up to the 45-yard line. Already in Irish territory because of Johnson's interception.
I mean, you're Catholic Central. You need to figure out a way to get a stop here right now. You're down 2 scores. You don't want to go down 3 again.
Ty Ricks, who's taken multiple direct snaps back since the second quarter. He's forward for a gain of about 7 or 8.
Yeah, I like what head coach Josh Wooten said at halftime. They don't like us and we don't like them. I mean, so not that I'm trying to, entice bad blood or anything like that, but I guess this is, somewhat of a rivalry. These teams know each other very well. They're not that far apart geographically.
Yep.
So you can understand. As long as we leave it on the football field, good, clean, hard-hitting football, I'm all for it.
The Greenon players yesterday, they were talking, they do consider this a rivalry as Ricks to the left side around one man, has it up for a first down, trying to get the angle, still on his feet, and eventually edged out of bounds inside the 15. And that is a run good for a first down presented by Arby's. And it also moves Greenon into the Donato's delivery zone. Donato's Pizza, a great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important. So after a flag drove the Knights back 5 yards, Kai Ricks on a couple of direct snaps. I don't think we've seen Aiden Carpenter. Now he's just running back onto the field for his first play of the second half.
Both of these smaller schools, they don't have as many players as some of the bigger schools have. So you'll see guys alternate and play a lot of different positions.
And this is Carpenter up the middle, quickly past the 10, close to about the 5. He looks to be close to another first down. In fact, they may give it to him. But we do have a flag on the play.
Both these teams are a little too much extracurricular activity for me. I know the referee's going to get a hold of that.
Offense number 7. 10 yards, first down.
So that will make it 1st and 20 on the play instead of what could have been 1st and goal.
Yeah, I see it, number 44. There was 62 for the Catholic, Central Catholic. That push extra shove in the back. You're going to cost your team eventually. It's usually the second guy that gets caught.
So the ball placed back at the 25-yard line. It will be 1st down and 20 as the clock is now under 10 minutes to go in the third. Carpenter, again, QB keeper up the middle, good for about 5 yards. Almost broke free, but they're going to mark him down around the 20-yard line for a gain of 5.
I mean, I have the utmost respect for Springfield Catholic Central. You got 16 players on the team.
We mentioned that on our preview
players.
last night. Not a large roster size.
I mean, and so it's not very much substitution going on. These guys are playing with grit and gut and a lot of heart.
And this game still for the taking. Ricks to the outside, quickly got by one man and is going to be pushed out of bounds close to another first down pickup. It will be 3rd and short upcoming as Ricks being more involved in direct snap from the backfield. As there's a look at
the entire bench.
That's the depth of the Springfield Catholic Central Irish.
I think everybody's played. I think I've seen all those jerseys out there one time or another.
They won their season opener at home back in August against North College Hill. They haven't been able to get a win since, but with 16 teams making the playoffs in each region, the Irish right now tied for 18th in their region, so a win tonight and they're right back in the mix. But Hartling up the middle, he may have broken the plane, but we do have a flag after the play. We'll check and see what the flag is.
I don't know if it's going to stand up, but they called Springfield Catholic in a defensive, shift of the defensive line, and they ran right where they shifted out of. They weren't quite ready on defense that time.
Referee Ray Bradshaw will shortly relay the call.
They catch a break.
Hartling, offense number 3, 10 yards. 3rd down. Hey, guy.
It's like, this is not no democracy.
Well,
it's a dictatorship. I get the only voice out here.
Well, and I think it's a matter of the Greenon players voicing frustration. I think this is their 3rd or 4th penalty this drive alone that's driven them back and negated what otherwise probably was an Nathan Hartling touchdown run.
Yeah, I saw the holding. Sometimes you have a guy blocked, just let go. As we talk about substitution, wouldn't they just substitute 5 players?
Yep.
Greenon just brought in a fresh 5. It's a different formation.
So 3rd down and 12. Carpenter throwing to his right. Has Johnson open. And it will be a positive gain. And he's still on his feet, but taken down inside the 15. So it's going to be 4th down for the Knights, who have not had the best of success when it comes to PATs so far tonight.
No, so I don't think they're going to kick it. I think they're going to go for it.
And they did go for it on both of their first 2 drives, and those were both touchdown runs on the part of Nathan Hartling. So looking to see just to confirm that Hartling is indeed on the field for this 4th down. I don't see him just yet, number 8.
I'm looking for him also.
Michael Lipscomb is the lone man in the backfield. I think they're going more with the wide receiver set, 3 on the left, and early movement on the part of Teener.
Dead ball. Ball start offense, number 32. 5 yards.
It just got a little tougher to pick up this first down on 4th down.
They can get a 1st and goal by getting to the 5-yard line. Yeah, it's been multiple yards of penalties
at least
just
30
this
yards
drive.
of penalties in this drive alone.
And that was something
They
we
was
saw.
almost at the goal line. He scored a touchdown. It came back, and they've been going back ever since.
If Springfield Catholic Central, they're also getting a breather. Again, not a lot of depth on that bench, so any break and play, allowing the Irish players on the field to catch their breaths and be ready for a pivotal play such as this. Carpenter on 4th down.
Yeah, don't take a sack
Going
on
to the
4th
end
down.
zone,
Give him a
intended
chance.
for Odell. It's tipped. Excuse me, it was Workman, the intended receiver, but tipped, no flag, and the Irish defense holds.
You know, your Catholic Central, you want to, keep them out of the end zone, but you don't want to necessarily have an interception down there.
Official
Batting the ball
timeout.
down was perfect.
For an injury.
Well, we do have a Catholic Central player who is needing medical attention, but we'll take a break. Springfield Catholic Central keeps the 12-point game on Thursday Night Lights. .736 to go in the 3rd quarter of Thursday Night Lights. There's a look at our commentary team.
I'm on camera somewhere.
Matt Digby, Keith Byers, Tage Joshi greeting you from Greenon Stadium. The Greenon Knights with a 25-13 lead on Springfield Catholic Central, but the Irish forcing a turnover on downs, helped by a couple of Greenon penalties. They had about 4 penalties that drive alone that pushed them back. They were in position to extend their lead, but the Irish defense able to force a turnover on downs. And now a chance to get back to 1 possession on this drive, which they'll begin at their own 17-yard line.
Whistle already? Oh, they get the clock right.
There was a Catholic Central player, Owen Young, who dove for that 4th down pass and landed awkwardly, but he was able to get to his feet and walk to the sideline. So we'll see if
hopefully he can get back in the game. Otherwise, they don't have 4 substitutions now. Oh, what a nice
And this
run.
is Xavier Brown quickly up the middle. That should be good for a 1st down out past the 30. And that is indeed going to move the chains for the Irish. A 1st down presented by Arby's.
And Xavier Brown can play for me anytime. Hard-nosed guy. Look at him just get behind his shoulder pads. Get every possible yard he can get.
Perfect placement behind the freshman quarterback Connor Cordell, who has now shifted out either to the bench or more as a wide receiver, and Noah Thrasher will set back up under shotgun center. Though it is Thrasher under center this time.
Yeah, power eye offense, power right.
It's a handoff up the middle, going to be met for a small gain on the play. That's Berkeley Little on the carry.
Haven't seen that formation too often.
Well, Catholic Central, they threw an interception on their first drive of the second half. The defense was able to hold and prevent the Knights from adding to their lead, but now for the offense, you've only had 1 touchdown result in points. How important is this drive to get points and continue to trim the deficit after the momentum you had late first quarter and early second quarter?
Well, you want to just at least get momentum, because momentum equals points eventually. So they want to try to get something positive. You don't want to go 3 and out right here.
And Connor Cordell, miscommunication. He fumbled the snap, does all he can to fall on it and prevent a turnover. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and long for the Irish, as Cordell has actually stayed in to take a couple of snaps. He was the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, but an injury put Noah Thrasher in duty. But Thrasher has now shifted to his position of wide receiver, how he began the season.
Yeah, I know Coach wish he had like 11 Noah Thrashers out there. Guys can do, so valuable. You're like a Swiss Army knife. You can just plug and play them anywhere and get good results out of them.
Noah said he does have a younger brother currently in 7th grade with plans to play high school football for the Irish in just a few years' time. On 3rd down and 9, Thrasher rolling to his right.
He's looking for a guy.
Has time and has a man downfield, but it is short, intended for Berkeley Little. There were 2 Knights defenders in coverage, and that's going to bring up 4th down for Catholic Central.
Just not enough there. When you roll out, you don't have the whole field to work with. and he was just trying to fit it in there, but his momentum, he didn't get his shoulder square.
Yep.
So he could have got the ball up. Yeah, he just kept his shoulders, perpendicular, parallel to the line of scrimmage. You got to get your feet set. But he's a good athlete. He'll figure it out next time.
So 4th down and 9. Owen Young, who is back on the field, he's going to send this punt away. And he's able to get it off no issue. Greenon looks to have good field position. And actually may have deflected.
Hit a Catholic guy.
On its way down. It's going to be down at the 49-yard line. So a short field to work with for Greenon as the Knights get the ball back and they'll look to extend on their 25-13 lead. You're watching Lee's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers. 5:20 to go in the third quarter as Greenon takes over at their own 46-yard line. So another short field to work with as they go for their second straight win. And it's going to be Aiden Carpenter. He was waiting for a hole to break free, and Noah Thrasher able to run him down, going to drag him back for a loss back at the 40-yard line. And the ball may have come loose. Catholic Central says they have it, but I think there's also a flag down.
I thought the play was almost down before the ball came loose.
And the flag was away from the action, back on the near hash.
That flag went down early. I got that. Move away. I got it.
Holding. Offense. That penalty is declined.
And it is a turnover. So Catholic Central, they were not burned by an interception early in the third quarter. Now they have a chance to capitalize on a defensive turnover of their own. It was Noah Thrasher who was able to jar the ball loose. Actually, the hit of Xavier Brown that jarred the ball loose. And recovered by the Irish. Looked like number 50, Ryan Mullen.
Xavier Brown can play for me. Not just him, but it's some other guys out on this field tonight. Hartling.
And Noah Thrasher hit from behind, and the ball's come loose as he threw. No flag, that's the beanbag.
Yeah, it is.
And Greenon gets the ball right back. Christian Cervantes with the recovery. So the Knights.
There's some hitting going on out there.
They get a turnover of their own. It's become a turnover fest after it was a touchdown fest in the first half.
All right, look at this. Wow, they made Hartling.
That was Hartling who made contact.
And he's recovered. But big number 51, Christian
Cervantes. But again, Nathan Hartling forcing the fumble loose after Noah Thrasher had helped force the fumble loose on the previous play. So back-to-back plays, back-to-back turnovers.
Cervantes just recovered the ball, then he goes in and plays right guard. He doesn't get a break.
Carpenter direct snap up the middle. Not sure if he'll get any gain, if it's all he can do just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we're now under 5 minutes to go in the third.
You know, Springfield Catholic just got that fumble to even the turnover, the 2-2, and the very next play, Greenon goes to second to take the turnover lead at 3-2. And then it just seems like this game is shaping up. They're coming down to who wins the turnover. It's still a 2-score game, but it's a lot of football to play. We still got a quarter in, like 16 minutes of football to play.
A lot happened in the first 16 minutes of the game, and we can guarantee a lot will happen in these final 16 minutes. As a run up the middle, and we do have a flag on the play.
Another holding call. They're going to set a record for holding calls tonight, Greenon.
They've had they've had more than a few penalties this quarter alone.
Yes, you're right. They're
So that's going to set up second on the long.
Hey, Will.
As they'll move the ball back to the 40-yard line, the Greenon 40, so it's going to be 2nd and 17.
I mean, Coach Dimitrov is working the referees in the first half and he's paying off in the second half. You know, you got to just sometimes alert the referees of what you see. And the refs are there to help you. I mean, so Greenon, they need to make some adjustments if they get called for this many holding penalties. something they got to change their way your blocking scheme.
A push pass back to Kai Ricks, and he's quickly met at the line of scrimmage. That's going to result in third and a long upcoming. That was Adam Thomas, the middle of three brothers, each who have also played on the Springfield Catholic Central program.
Oh, I could tell that they don't. This is a rivalry game. It means something to both these teams. Thursday night lights, you're on television.
And with what you can gain tonight and in the last 3 weeks, again, both teams only 1-6. But if you win this game, you're 2-6. And the way the playoff points rankings are situated, a fourth win at this point definitely gets them in the playoffs.
Absolutely. You get in the playoffs, anything can happen. Clean slate.
And a bumble snap on third down. It looks like Greenon recovered, but it's still going to be fourth down and now about 20. No question now the Knights will have to punt.
Wow, I mean, I'm a big proponent of momentum.
Yeah.
You ride the wave. If you have it, you keep it, and if you don't have it, go get it. And momentum is somewhere hovering on the 50-yard line. Don't know which sideline to go on. So they're playing. Both teams are playing real close, to the vest, in the second half.
And for most of the first quarter, that momentum was completely with the Greenon Knights, and then it shifted in a big way over to Catholic Central. But like you say, now it's going back and forth, literally. As here's the punt.
Oh, nice punt.
It's nice and low, and we'll take a pro Greenon hop, taken on one bounce. This is Thrasher. Spins out of one tackle, still on his feet, close to the 34-yard line. So Catholic Central still keeping it a 12-point game. We've had no score here with 2:28 to go in the third quarter. Again, this game still very much for the taking for either team.
I'm sure we're going to get some more points this half. I'd be shocked if we go to second half without points. And it's just a matter of which way, who's going to impose whose will on each other. If Springfield scores first, then the game gets really tight.
Yes.
And if Greenon scores first, it gets even looser from the standpoint, okay, now we're up 3 scores. We can relax a little bit, but don't totally relax. So that's why the momentum is this game can go either way.
Connor Cordell is back under center, and it's going to be a handoff to Xavier Brown. One broken tackle out past the 40, and Brown looks to be close to another first down. They may call him short by just inches.
Yeah, that was a good mark by the referee. His knee hit down.
And Brown just landed a little awkwardly, it looks like.
Possibly. And he just, I know it's October.
Yeah.
But cramping is still an issue, especially on a wet day today. If it was dry, not as much, but he's exerting a lot of energy on both sides of the ball. And on a grass field, with those cleats, you got to pick your feet up. You can't scoop. The ground doesn't help you, so you dig in more, you exert more energy. So cramping and issues, I saw him earlier, getting hydrated. You got to overhydrate yourself. Even when you're not thirsty, you got to overhydrate it. Because it's cool up here in the booth and in the stands, but it's been raining off and on. But on that field, it's still, somewhat humid because you're exerting it. They're the one putting in the work. And you exerting a ton of energy.
And you saw also the replay, the way he landed, it was a lot of pressure put on that left leg of his body. Not just his own body weight, but also the players who made the tackle. It was multiple defenders involved in the stop. So the good news, though, Brown is up walking to the sideline. He will have to sit out this play because the trainers did come onto the field. But it will be 2nd down and 1 upcoming for the Irish.
Yeah, so they can just get some momentum. First downs, and they turn into touchdown.
Thrasher taking the shotgun snap, direct snap up the middle, got a first down, quickly past midfield and to about the Greenon 45-yard line. As there's a look at the Greenon cheerleaders. They had plenty to cheer about in the first quarter. And that is indeed a Springfield Catholic Central first down presented by Arby's.
I sense this game coming down to the last 5 to 6 minutes. Who can ice the game and who can totally get back in it. Who's going to, snatch the lead? Both teams miss extra points, and they always have a way of coming back.
It certainly came back, as Northmont can tell you from firsthand experience from a couple weeks ago against Miamisburg. On first down, Thrasher met at the line of scrimmage. Maybe they'll give him a half yard to gain, but it will still be 2nd and long upcoming.
I was looking at it right here. Just split the double team. You know,
that was Caleb Teener, one of the defensive linemen who was able to stand up Thrasher and prevent any further movement.
Was Caleb kicked also, doesn't he?
Yep. he as a fullback, he's on the line, and he also kicks, just like Charlie Axtell for Catholic Central.
When I was in high school, our center was also our kicker. Big guy, he's the best kicker on the team.
Second out now, Thrasher. Pass complete to Brody Adams. A small gain, so it's going to be third down upcoming, but inside the 45.
That's a good safe throw. You know, just get something, to get the momentum, get a positive play, make third down that much shorter.
That's the first reception for Brody Adams, who's been much more involved on the defensive side of the ball for the Irish. That's his first contribution offensively that I believe we've seen tonight.
Yes, it was. That's his first catch of the night. Here we go. Big third down here. Get the ball to Xavier.
Push pass to Xavier Brown, but he's met in behind the line of scrimmage by Nathan Hartling. He was not fooled by the play. And Nathan Hartling, who had the first 2 touchdowns of the night, forces the Irish into a fourth down situation.
Yeah, I mean, how do you stop a good running back? Don't let him get started. You know, both of those guys, Hartling and Brown, been big contributors for both their teams.
Loss of about 6 on the play, pushes them back to
you
midfield.
Have to punt the ball. You don't want to. You have to punt it.
And there is a 5-second gap between shot and play clock, or play and game clock, I should say. So Catholic Central will have to snap the ball. And a keeper on Owen Young's part. And the ball comes loose. Picked up by Greenon. Better field position than expected. But we do have a flag on the play with 1 second in the quarter.
For Springfield's sake, they're going to hope it's against Greenon. And if it's against Springfield, Greenon's going to decline it and take the ball.
Well, ambitious play on the part of Owen Young to try the fake punt.
On the kicking team. That penalty is going to be declined.
So Greenon will take over at midfield. In the meantime, we have one player still needing a bit of medical treatment after the play. Here's the look. Owen Young quickly saw an opening, but then the ball comes loose. And quickly picked up by Hunter Odell. So Greenon able to get the ball back and in better than expected field position, as it turns out.
That was Owen Young that was injured. He just made his way to the bench or the sideline. Took that one.
So 1 second left in the quarter. We will have one final play before the end of quarter break. Noby Carpenter lined up under center with the 3 running backs.
Pretty safe.
It's Ricks up the left side, quickly past the 45 to about the 44. That's where they'll mark him for forward progress. So no score in the third quarter, but Greenon able to maintain a 12-point lead after a couple of turnovers for both the Irish and the Knights. It's Greenon who still has the 12-point lead after 3 quarters. Fourth quarter after the break. 25-13, same score as when we started the second half, and we are now in the fourth quarter of Week 8 of Lee's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati Area Toyota Dealers. Matt Digby, Keith Byers, Tage Joshi, and our crew greeting you from Greenon Stadium. The Knights going for back-to-back wins after starting 0-6. A chance to get 2 straight wins and get back into the playoff conversation in Region 20 as a QB keeper. Aiden Carpenter should be close to another first down, but they'll mark it 3rd and inches upcoming.
I like how they call QB keeper. Yeah, that's just part of the regular offense. Most people, you don't look for quarterback sneak until it's short yardage situation. Then, here comes quarterback sneak. They're running on 1st and 10, 3rd and 5 at any time, and that keeps defenses off balance when they hit it. I like quick hitters like that.
So 3rd down and 1. And the most recent touchdown was a Carpenter 1-yard touchdown run with 13 seconds to go in the second. That pushed the lead for Greenon back to 2 scores. And Carpenter up the middle again for a QB keeper. Again, that should be more than enough for a Greenon first down presented by Bathmasters. And at this point, Do you feel it's a little too early to treat the clock as your friend and just try to bleed the clock, or do you want to go for scores as quickly as possible?
I would still go for scores. You know, I wouldn't start to bleed the clock till I get to 7-8 minute mark of the quarter. I mean, of the half. You know, right now this is the opening. Well, not the opening. It's a continuation of the drive here in the fourth quarter. You know, play momentum. Play, you know, to maintain the ball. Play to impose your will on your opponent.
And here's a quick handoff to Michael Lipscomb. Quickly up the middle. One broken tackle. One man has an ankle, but Lipscomb wins the race to the end zone. Touchdown, Michael Lipscomb, and Greenon out to the lead.
Big time run right there. He's going to cramp it up a little bit.
That's a touchdown presented by Donatos, and it is a 31-13 ball game.
That gets the home fan back up into the game. It's a little nervous, but he said, hey, carry me off the field.
Yeah, it looked like he may have tread on something extra in addition to the grass as he got into the end zone. Looked like he was going to be able to walk off the field under his own power, but now they're tending to him.
You know, I was talking about imposing your will. And, you know, Springfield Catholic has imposed their will to get back into the game. And for Greenon, they're imposing their will to end it. Look at this. He sees, he got to smell that end zone, and he smells it.
He was able to outrun everyone to the end zone, and he was mentioning there, I think, don't pull me up just yet. I think he knew something was up.
Look at that blocking at the point of attack. Now it's just a foot race from here on out. Oh, that looks like the hamstring.
Oh.
He went reaching for the hamstring right now. And that can happen on these wet surfaces.
Again, it's been raining steadily throughout the night. There was a little bit of dryness right before the game, but once kickoff occurred, it's been fairly steady, and we've seen umbrellas from both the Greenon community and those in the stands across the way over where the Catholic Central stands are. There's that small clump of land right by the end zone. I don't think that's exactly where Lipscomb started pulling up. I'm not sure if that was the issue.
Ugh. Reminds me of the vet. I'm in the vet stadium.
But the touchdown stands, and the point after attempt is upcoming.
It's homecoming. You have to win your homecoming game. You have to, but we're a long way from determining that. I mean, this helps. 10 minutes and 48 seconds to go.
It definitely helps on the part of the Knights. They're back to a 3-touchdown lead after that 3-touchdown lead in the first quarter was quickly trimmed to 1 possession. Here's Teener for the extra points.
There's Teener.
And it is good. So back to a 19-point lead for the Greenon Knights. 32-13 with 10:48 to go regulation time. As Michael Lipscomb on the long touchdown run toward the 19-point lead. Timeout from Greenon Stadium. You're watching Thursday Night Lights on MyTV Dayton. 10:48 to go from Greenon Stadium. The Knights with a 32-13 lead on the touchdown run from Michael Lipscomb. And there's a look at the Thursday Night Lights Champions Trophy presented by Rand Associates. 7 teams have been able to claim this trophy already in 2023. 5 of them home teams. Greenon a little under 11 minutes away from officially making it 6 out of 8 in favor of the home teams.
What a beautiful trophy.
It is.
That looks really good on your mantle. Yeah, you sit back years from now. Thursday Night Lights, yes, that was MVP.
Yep.
Our team, my school won.
Memories that will be remembered forever.
You know, when you're in high school, you try to explain that to the kids. And, you know, I know one year, you know, Tim, I was down in Florida. They won the district championship. They won T-shirts and hats.
Yep.
I got them watches. Like, we don't even wear watches. You're growing to it. 10, 15, you'll be happy to have one.
This kickoff presented by Wright and Schulte. It's taken from about the 29-yard line. This is Adam Thomas quickly to the left side. And he's got a hold down the 50 inside the Greenon 45-yard line, pushed out of bounds, but a great return from the senior Adam Thomas, and that's going to give the Irish a short field to work with as they try to get back in the ball game.
Offensive lineman, defensive lineman, the big Adam Thomas. He's like, I return kickoffs too. Small programs. You know, I'm not talking about small in stature. I'm talking about small in numbers. You know, programs. You know, you got to produce so much more.
The scoring summary presented by Rand Associates. It started with a 4-play, 49-yard drive. I believe it was the drive that started late in the third quarter after Catholic Central went for the fake punt and came up well short. That gave Greenon a short field to work with.
That shifted the momentum right there.
As Thrasher's pass complete to the left side, that is good for a gain of about 4.5. That was Brody Adams on the reception, the tight end.
That was a point of the game. Catholic Central has to get somewhat out of their game plan, and they got to play with some tempo. You need to score 3 times, and you need to score them fast. You can't have no 7 or 8 minute drive. Game be over. They need turn into touchdown here, another turnover, and then another score.
Well, there are 2 touchdowns in terms of game time. They came only a minute and 12 seconds apart as Thrasher going deep down the sideline and just a little underthrown, intended for Berkeley Little. They had the right idea, just Thrasher couldn't get enough on the pass.
I tell you, the fans are sitting by the section to get fired up.
3rd down and 6 upcoming with 10:02 to play.
Well, the quarterback, you got to give your guys a chance to make a play, and he's doing that. You don't want to take any sacks at this point of the game. You're trying to find something positive. And from this down, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it on 4th down unless they get a big loss.
Thrasher throwing over the middle and behind his intended man. That was Berkeley Little again. That would have been enough for a 1st down gain, but instead it's 4th and 6 upcoming.
I mean, it's raining. You don't probably show up as much on your television screen, but the conditions down there are tough, for the players. But like my coach said, it doesn't rain the football field. We're football players. We just adjust. So, if it was dry, allegedly, he would have been able to stop here and adjust to the football.
There's Jim Dimitrov. He says what has stood out to him is how those who have come out for the football team in practice in the preseason and through the weeks, even with the tough results as the 3rd straight incompletion intended for Little, and that's going to result in a turnover on downs. Greenon takes over. But for Catholic Central, they've continued to play hard, and they haven't had the results and the record they were hoping for, but they've made plays, and they've made plays tonight.
You're right.
They were able to trim it to a 6-point game, and it was very much in the balance until I think this is around the time where it looks like Greenon may be in a position
to get wore down somewhat.
Yes.
They're playing so many plays, not just on defense, but on offense. Majority of the team is 2-way players.
Yes.
And it's wet outside. It's the field conditions are soft. It's like playing in the sand all day long.
We've got an early flag on the play before the snap.
Dead ball, encroachment, line up in the neutral zone. Number 51 on the offense, 5 yards, 1st down.
So that will back him up 5 yards, 1st and 15. .9:52 to go. Carpenter lines up under center. It's a handoff to Nathan Hartling, still on his feet and very nearly got the 1st down. He's back to about the 49-yard line. So it's going to bring up 2nd and short. Well, this is week 8 of Thursday Night Lights. We still have 2 more games to go, and next week we will be in the Miami Valley League, a key matchup as the Tippecanoe Red Devils go on the road to Riverside. They will take on the Stebbins Indians. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff on next Thursday, October 12th. You can watch the game right here on MyTV Dayton. That's 22.3 over the air or channel 24 if you have Spectrum. We'll also be streaming live on our Facebook page and on our website, Dayton247now.com.
I'll be there. I can't wait to see that game.
That's going to be a great game, and both teams also have key matchups that they're getting ready for tomorrow night in Week 8. As a handoff up the middle here, it's Hunter Odell. He'll have enough for a Greenon 1st down presented by Bathmasters, and that will move the chains as the Knights move inside the Irish 45-yard line.
Yeah, they're starting to just wear down. You say Irish, I think Notre Dame.
Yep.
That's it, that Catholic Central front, as well as the linebackers. They're giving it all their heart and soul, but on a wet, soft football field, that just, doubles or triples, your fatigue factor in the trenches. And that's where this game is turning to right now. Trench warfare.
Ball placed at the Springfield Catholic Central 42-yard line, dropped on the ground. It was all Carpenter could do to pick up the ball and prevent a turnover, but it's going to be a slight loss on the play, bring up 2nd and long. But you take a look at where these teams are now. Assuming this result holds, Greenon would move to 2-6. Right now they're 25th in Region 20. They have 2 games left at Cedarville, and Cedarville only has 1 loss. The Indians are having an outstanding year. And then against Southeastern Local, their final home game coming up in Week 10. The Trojans are also very much in playoff contention themselves. As on 2nd and 11, Ricks bet behind the line of scrimmage is going to be driven back to the 45-yard line for another short loss. It's going to be 3rd and long.
You know, when it comes to playoffs, all you want is to have an opportunity, get in a position. You know, stranger things has happened, and I always remind myself and my teammates, the game is played on the field, not in the papers, not in otherwise why play. You know, don't let the media or anything else dictate. Look around in the locker room. This is where the answers are. We win together, we lose together, but whatever we do, be together.
Catholic Central entering this week ranked tied for 18th in Division 7, Region 28. Again, the top 16 make the playoffs. And the Irish will be home for their home finale next week against Greenview. They go on the road to Madison Plains in Week 10 as Carpenter slipped. They tried an end around to the right side, and that drive losing yardage and almost driven back more to midfield. It's going to be 4th and long. I think Greenon may punt this ball.
Yeah, when he's trying to make that hard cut up in there. You can't cut off your inside foot. You get top heavy when you do that. That's why you put the cut on your outside foot. So in a wet field like today, that really exposes you. You might get away with it sometimes on a dry field, but on the wet field, you're going down more often than not.
So Caleb Tiener on to punt, and one man back inside his own 10-yard line for Springfield Catholic Central is going to be Noah Thrasher. He's been a do-everything type of player tonight for the visitors. As Tiener's kick is not going to go very far. In fact, the Irish will take over at their own 45-yard line.
They'll take that kick.
Kick is down at the Irish 45-yard line.
Another time when I was in high school, our kicker kicked the ball minus 13. We were on a 20, the ball went back 13. We were running down the field. Well, as if we couldn't find it. We heard the thud. We didn't hear the double thud like it's blocked. Then he turned around, the ball just went straight up in the air, and it bounced and went backwards. Minus 13, I'll never forget it. I won't reveal whose name it is, but that happened in high school.
6:31 to go as the Irish on first down. Thrasher rolling left. Trying to throw another deep ball, and he has a man just beyond the reach of Berkeley Little, who got the step defender, Caden Johnson, but it's going to be 2nd down. Again, as I was saying, the Irish, they have 2 games left. Home against Greenview next week, and the Rams have had a good season. That it will be another tough game. Jim Dimitroff acknowledged that. But then Week 10 on the road at Madison Plains. Madison Plains hasn't won a game this year. In fact, Greenon won at Madison Plains for their first win of the season just last week. So if Springfield Catholic Central can get the win in one of those 2 games and get help in points, that may be enough to get them into the top 16. And Dimitroff mentioned transparently, it may mean a first-round trip to defending D6 state champion Marion Local, but it'd still be a playoff game.
Yeah, something, you know, like I said, it'll be a tough uphill game, but not impossible.
Thrasher's pass intended for Brody Adams is just beyond his reach. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. Again, we mentioned our 2 teams that we'll have on Thursday Night Lights next week, Tippecanoe and Stebbins. Both those teams have tough matchups tomorrow. Stebbins is going on the road to Troy, and Troy's had an excellent season. We had a chance to watch them months ago.
It's a huge team, too. They're big boys.
So a good test for Stebbins. And Tippecanoe, they are not going to be taking their opponent lightly. They'll be hosting West Carrollton, who is coming off their first win in more than 3 years.
Yeah, the West Carrollton Pirates.
They rallied last week to win at home over Piqua. First win for first-year head coach Anthony Parker Jr. And Thrasher broke 1 tackle quickly to the 50 and inside Greenon territory. He's going to be stopped short of the line to gain.
Yeah, Thrasher didn't like that tackle. But he didn't get him on the pad. He just got high up around his shoulder pads.
And you see Charlie Axtell trying to calm his quarterback, keep him from doing something that may warrant a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, they got to play with tempo. It's 5 minutes and 52 seconds ago. you don't have time to bark at the referees. You need touchdowns and ball possessions. You can't score without the ball. Let's see, what happened here? Well, that's just a good tackle.
4th down and a little over 3.
They're bringing the house.
Thrasher's pass complete to Little.
Oh,
he may be stopped just short. And
our spotter himself is saying no. I'm going with no also, but we'll figure it out. They're going to bring the chains on?
That spot, it looks like he may be just a half yard short.
What is it? I was talking to the referee crew before the game. How do you judge?
Knights will take over on downs.
And it is going to be a turnover on downs. So the Greenon defense holds, gets the ball back, and they are 5 minutes, 23 seconds away from a second straight win. 32-13 on week 8 of Thursday Night Lights. No wins in their first 6 games, but the Greenon Knights officially 5-23 from going back-to-back after their win at Madison Plains 6 nights ago. And they have the ball leading Springfield Catholic Central 32-13 on week 8 of Thursday Night Lights. Matt Digby, Keith Byers, Tej Joshi, and our crew.
Fresh legs in the game.
Kai Ricks on the direct snap, quickly past the 40-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a Knights first down presented by Bathmasters, and that will move the chains.
Yeah, I mean, Kai Ricks goes back at quarterback. I call it fresh legs. Just give a different body. Same play. Just the quarterback keeper. Right, I think there's a Springfield Catholic.
Yeah, looks like another cramp issue. We've had a couple of those over the course of the second half. And we mentioned the wet field playing a role. It's a much different environment than when you're playing on turf.
Yeah, and the numbers are low as far as kids on the team. You know, he started this game with 16 players.
Well, here's a look at the full schedule. Hard to believe. I've said this on our Donato's Football Friday programs without an arrow. I'm in denial that we're already at week 8. We had a great game a couple weeks ago. Northmont hosting Miamisburg. The Vikings had that last-second touchdown. Trotwood Alter has been a great game. Butler Troy was a great game.
Absolutely.
Great performances on the part of Xenia and of Waynesville and of Chaminade Julienne last week. And we are setting ourselves up for Tippecanoe at Stebbins next week. That game will be at Riverside. And then our season finale for the second straight year will be from Welcome Stadium as Dunbar takes on Ponit. The Wolverines right now in position to defend their Dayton City League title. They do have a very tough matchup tomorrow night against Trotwood Madison at Welcome Stadium.
Yeah, I saw Dunbar play last week against Nutterdale.
Yep.
At Welcome Stadium last Friday night. I'm glad our last game is going to be at Welcome Stadium. That has a lot of special meanings to me. That's where I played my high school football at Welcome Stadium, not at Dunbar, not at Ponitz. I went to Roth High School, and last graduating class in 1982. But we played our home games there, home and away games, unless it was a team non-conference. We didn't play it in Welcome Stadium, but they just remodeled it, reopened it, doing tremendous things there. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, in a few weeks.
And Dunbar putting together a strong season as well, 5-2. They do enter this week just outside the top 16 in Division 4 Region 16, but if they're able to get the win tomorrow night against Trotwood, that would set themselves right back in the playoff conversation in D4 Region 16. But Trotwood has had an excellent season themselves.
Yeah, but we've had a season of upsets around the county.
We have.
So I don't count nobody out.
On 1st and 10, Aiden Carpenter up the middle. That's going to be good for a gain of about 4.5. As the clock now continues to run, we're under 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's a good rivalry. I wasn't as familiar with the Greenon and Springfield Catholic rivalry until this week. But that rivalry is always healthy in sports.
Yeah.
I was at a good time. The Ohio State, Michigan.
Definitely.
The coaches reminded me of that at halftime. We hate them and they hate us. True. I mean, you don't respect one another. And, this has been a good game.
On second down, direct snap to Kai Ricks. He's going to have enough for a first down. He breaks through into the secondary. Nothing but green grass in front of Kai Ricks, who gets his touchdown.
Nice and patient running right there. You stayed with the hole, you pressed it, saw just a glimmer of light open up, and he just turned on the Jets. Run the daylight, and just did a tremendous job. Great run by Kai Ricks.
That touchdown presented by Donato's. It is a 38-13 ball game now as we await the extra point try from Caleb Teener with 4:23 to go in regulation.
Caleb heard us talk about his kicking.
And this kick off to the side, it's no good.
You got to get to the ball a little quicker. That's why I got blocked. I'm sure he has plenty of legs.
Well, you look at the hole that appears in the linebacking core, just waiting for that hole to appear. And once he is through those defenders, there's no one else in front of him to stop him. So Ricks has done a lot of work. He's carried his fair share of the workload in terms of the running attack. He didn't have a touchdown to show for it until just now with 4:23 to go. And it is now a 25-point lead for Greenon at 38-13.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Josh Wooten, he's got Green ready to play football.
Yep.
They had a slow start to the season.
Yes.
Won last week. Looks like they're going to win this week. I think we have a bona fide streak going.
And that's going to give him
2 in a row. That's how you get to 3.
Again, that's going to give him plenty of confidence going on the road next week to a very talented Cedarville team. They are entering this week at 6-1. The Indians are. So there are some good competition teams in the Ohio Heritage Conference. You have teams like Cedarville, like Springfield Northeastern, West Liberty Salem, teams that are very much not just thinking about making playoffs, period, but hosting at least one game, if not a second game in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you always want to be home in the playoffs as much as you can. But first, you want to make the playoffs.
That's
Ohio
goal number one.
It gives a lot of teams. Just under the old rules, by this time October, you're out. You lose 1-2 games, you're done. But this new format where they expanded the field gives more and more kids an opportunity to play, and I love that.
It will be a very intriguing postseason to follow as this kickoff upcoming is presented by Wright and Schulte. Hard to believe we're already coming up on closer to championship weekend in Canton than we were to the beginning of the season as the onside kick is recovered by Catholic Central. They were caught off guard back in the first quarter.
They got it again.
Greenon.
The offense, Greenon, they come up with the ball.
They were saying they came up with the football. One referee on the far side indicated the Irish recovered it.
I got a little smudge on my my window here. I don't have a clear view, but I can still see. I can help bring it to you guys at home.
So 4:21 to go. As you see, the Greenon player who's saying he came up with the ball was Aiden Cheney, number 84, but it is ruled that Catholic Central did recover the ball. This is Connor Cordell, the freshman, who, again, started the season at quarterback, got an injury, and that put Noah Thrasher into the... Actually, that was Thrasher, I should say, who had the QB keeper, and he's a little slow getting up. It's just one of those situations. The toll of a game, and when you only have 15, 16 players on a roster, you don't have as much opportunity to come out of a game.
I know the quarterback's a little shaken up, but they got to play with tempo. You need quick scores.
Scoring summary presented by Rand Associates, capped off by the 37-yard run by Kai Ricks. It's gone 3 plays, 55 yards in total. And there actually was a personal foul penalty on Greenon, so that's moved the ball for the Irish well inside the Greenon 35-yard line. It's a first down presented by Backmasters. And the pass is short, intended for Berkeley Whittle, going to bring up second down with just over 4 minutes to go.
A lot of targets tonight.
We have another flag on the play.
I think it's in the backfield.
Here's Ray Bradshaw with the call. This refereeing crew has been fairly busy tonight.
I thought it could have been defensive holding, but not so.
Again, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, Catholic Central still has 2 games. Their home finale next Friday against Greenview, but then on the road at Madison Plains, who has not won a game yet this season themselves. If Catholic Central can get that win and get some help in points, right now they're tied for 18th, just outside the top 16 in Region 28.
Yeah, upsets happen all the time, especially this time late in the season.
This is Xavier Brown, broken tackle, and he's quickly inside the 30. That's going to be good for an Irish first down, but the ball comes loose.
Still loose.
Still hasn't been recovered, and it is eventually recovered by the Knights.
Oh, Xavier's going to want that one back.
That was Kai Ricks, who just scored the last touchdown. He gets the fumble recovery, and Greenon will take over under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, I thought a horse collar was going to be called.
Owen Fagan among those who helped knock the ball loose. Then he was the one who nearly had the fumble recovery and then just lost his footing. That gave Kai Ricks the chance to be the man who recorded the turnover.
He won't pass it up. You know, you're Springfield Central Catholic Central. You can't panic in these situations. You know, I know you don't have that many people. You only got 16 players. Nobody cares once you step between the white lines. I mean, they had a chance to win this game.
It was a 6-point game for most of the second quarter after Axtell's pick six made it 19-13, but then Greenon did get a touchdown in the final minute of the first half. Especially important because the Irish got the opening kickoff for the second half, but then a turnover. Even though Greenon didn't capitalize on it with a touchdown, they were able to stop that momentum after the momentum clearly started with Greenon and then clearly shifted to the Irish in the second quarter.
Yeah, we're seeing wholesale substitutions, you know, out of Greenon. They bring out the starting quarterback. They don't want him to, you know, get banged up with 2 weeks to go of the season. This game, in all intents and purposes, is over. He just right down the final epitaph.
And Ricks on the carry. That ball looked like it may have come loose and recovered by the Irish inside the 20. That was a alert play on the part of Ryan Mullen. And the wet field again, showing why it's so difficult to play in an environment with the wet field and the wet football.
You could hear.
That was Adam Thomas coming in from the left side to make the hit and knock the ball loose, and the ball was clearly out before Ricks' knee was down.
Ground could not cause a fumble. Got a lot going on out here in the field right now.
Maybe it looked like a penalty after the play is what Ray Bradshaw was indicating.
Like I said, they've been chirping all night long. And more often than not, it's the second guy that gets caught.
And it is going to drive the Irish back a few yards after the fumble recovery took place inside the 20. So it looked like Catholic Central had a chance to begin a drive in the red zone. Now they'll start it. They'll keep the ball, but they're back at the Greenon 35-yard line.
You know, this second half been played close to the vest by both teams. But it's all that offense we saw in the first half to only see, you know, well, we have two touchdowns here in the second. Mm-hmm. But it took a while to get it. We got a scoreless third quarter.
So 3:03 to go as the Irish take over. Thrasher at quarterback with Brown on his right hip. Thrasher going to roll out to the right. He'll have enough for a gain inside the 30. Going to be edged out of bounds at the 27-yard line, and we're going to have a couple more flags for a late hit.
You can't do that.
So that's going to move. It was already a positive gain of about 6.5 or 7, and that will move the Irish even closer to the end zone with the flag.
We have a penalty flag on the field.
I know that doesn't please Coach Wooten at all.
Definitely a lot of learning points for both teams from tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. These 15-yard penalties, in a tight game, they cost you. You got to, you know, show better discipline and play the game the right way. Hit them between the white lines. Get outside the white lines. Let him go. He's clearly running out of bounds. Come on, Rick. You didn't have to drop him like that. You can't do that.
So because of the penalty, now it looks like Ray Bradshaw, the referee's calling everybody in, saying, hey guys, enough extracurriculars. Let's play the game.
You heard it all night. That's a good job. Excellent officiating, because I'm sure he warned him. Next one you're getting going out of this game.
And you see sportsmanship. A couple of the Irish players and Greenon players on the field shook hands. Nice to see that sportsmanship.
Stay a sportsman. Play hard. Don't play not smart.
1st and 10 from the 14. The Irish, because of the penalty, have actually moved inside the Donato's delivery zone. With a jump pass to Brown, still trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he may have done enough, though he may be given with a half-yard loss on the play, brings up 2nd and long. But because of the placing of the penalty, Catholic Central is the known Donato's Pizza. A great call for after the game. Order online for pickup or delivery at donatos.com. Every piece is important.
Now you got to play fast. That was a good heads-up play.
Almost,
it wasn't there initially.
Almost Tim Tebow-esque, dare I say. But it is a slight loss on the play. 2nd down and about 12.
Yeah, the clock is running out, so they're not only battling the scoreboard, they're also battling the play clock.
Thrasher's pass batted down. It was intended for his tight end, Brody Adams. But on the coverage was Kai Ricks, and that brings
Kai
up
Ricks
3rd
is
down.
another one. He can play for me. He's all over the field.
As you may hear the Greenon students and cheerleaders chanting, "I believe that we will win." They are officially 205 from that winning feeling, and we will have the trophy presentation coming up very shortly, as it will be 6-2, the home team record on Thursday Night Lights.
You know, I love these Thursday night games because the student body's here, they're fired up, but I still need to see you in class tomorrow.
Yep. It's a happy homecoming, but it is, again, Thursday. Still one more day left in the week. Brown up the middle. Looked like he may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage before forward progress is stopped. So that will bring up 4th down, and we're now under 1:55 to play.
Fourth down and 11 for the Irish.
Yeah, I don't think Springfield is going to take any timeouts here.
Well, it was a 12-point game at halftime. No score in the 3rd quarter, but a couple of turnovers. The one thing for Greenon, we mentioned that they'll definitely want to make adjustments before going into next week's game at Cedarville, is limiting the penalties. They had multiple penalties in the 3rd quarter alone.
Yeah, you don't like those self-inflicted wounds. They're not good for your offense.
On 4th down, Thrasher putting up a deep, got a lot of air under it, not enough to reach his intended man, Brody Adams. It will fall. Greenon will take over with 1:13 to play.
I think it'll be time for Greenon to run my favorite offensive play. Victory formation. That's kind of got to take it in and let the clock run out. Been a hard-fought game by both teams. No sense of risk of injury by running any more plays. They both got big games coming up down the last couple of games of the season.
Still a lot to play for these final 2 weeks, even with one team about to go to 2-6, the other team about to go to 1-7. But like you say, a lot can happen, a lot will happen. We've seen a lot happen throughout the Miami Valley the last few weeks.
Oh, absolutely. I love Ohio football. I brag on it all the time, not because I'm bragging because I'm from Ohio, because it's a fact.
Yep.
You know, I mean, Ohio, we play the top high schools football is in the United States is Ohio, Florida, California, Texas. And Western Pennsylvania will be the top 5. All the other states, they have to get in line.
Well,
I did not say Georgia. They can't compete with Ohio football from it all the way up.
The Miami Valley did have 3 teams make it all the way to Canton last year for championship weekend. Springfield was the runner-up in Division 1 to Lakewood St. Edward, and then 2 teams from the Midwest Athletic Conference. Marion Local, champions in Division 6. They are now reclassified Division 7 this year, so there will be potentially a new champion in D7 because New Bremen, they haven't had the strongest starts of the season. They may still get in the playoffs, but at some point in time they'll have to take Marion Local
small program
in the playoffs. So the Miami Valley going 2-1 on championship weekend last year. We'll see how it plays out in 2023.
Good sportsmanship. No more plays. Just come line up.
And indeed, the players are lining up for the post-game handshake as the final seconds walk down. And Josh Wooten and the Greenon Knights, after an 0-6 start, they've won 2 in a row and are right back in the conversation for a playoff berth in Division 5.
I need more cowbell. They got cowbell going. I need more cowbell.
38-13 the final in a hard-fought Ohio Heritage Conference game that we mentioned was still in the balance, still up for either team's taking until the final quarter. As you see the coaches shake hands, Josh Wooten and Jim Dimitroff, a lot of lessons for both teams to take away from Week 8 of Thursday Night Lights.
I love how both teams competed hard. They said they don't like each other, but that there was still good sportsmanship, throughout the game. And now they get a chance to celebrate with the student body. Great job tonight.
Trophy presentation coming up after the break. Greenon 38, Catholic Central 13. Back after this. 38-13 the final on Week 8 of Lee's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Cincinnati area Toyota dealers. The Knights have won 2 straight, and they are now ready to receive the TNL trophy. Let's go down to Tej Joshi.
I know you guys are ready to start celebrating, but I want to talk about that awesome game for just a second. What was the key to get all those points on the board and keep the team together?
Containing the run, stopping the run, playing defense fast.
Tell me how pumped you are that you guys got this win in tonight.
I'm very excited. It's a lot of hard work from going negative, losing every game, then coming back and winning our next 2.
Well, we are pumped for you guys. I know it's your homecoming game, so we want you guys to start celebrating now. So here is the Lee's famous recipe, TNL Thursday Night Lights Champions Trophy. Here you go. These guys have a lot to celebrate for now, though. Back to you guys up in the broadcast booth.
All right, thank you, Tej. That was a group of players, Owen Fagan and Nathan Hartling, accepting the trophy on behalf of Greenon, who now moves to 2-6, and they're right back in the playoff conversation for Division 5, Region 20. Time now to take a look at our superlatives for Week 8 of Thursday Night Lights. We're going to start with our player of the game, or our play of the game, I should say, rather, presented by Carol Wirtz Tire Company. It's going to come from Springfield Catholic Central. Early in the second quarter, after the Irish had gotten on the board to make it 19-6, this pick 6 from Charlie Axtell, making it 19-13. It was perfectly read by the Irish defender and just overall great play.
He's going to remember that. Even though it was a losing effort, he's going to remember that play for the next 20, 30 years. Great play. Just read the quarterback's eyes perfectly. Picked it off this way. He dreams about it before every game. And, hey, excellent play tonight.
That is the play of the game presented by Carol Wirtz Tire Company. Big shout out to Charlie Axtell of Springfield Catholic Central. Our drive of the game, also presented by Carol Wirtz Tire Company. It's going to be the original drive of the entire game. It was the opening kickoff, a bit of miscommunication on fielding, so Greenon started at their own 10, and then a penalty before the first official snap drove them back to their own 5, but no problem. 95 yards, they were able to march downfield, and Nathan Hartling in for the first of 2 touchdowns on the night, both on 4th down conversions, and that was able to set the tone for Greenon as they would jump out to a 3-touchdown lead and not trail. They were able to weather the storm after the Irish did get back to a 6-point game. And speaking of Nathan Hartling, he is our player of the game, also presented by Carol Wirtz Tire Company. 2 touchdowns for Nathan Hartling, who was used in the short yardage situations, but he was able to come up big when needed. He also made some timely plays on defense as well.
Yes, he did. I mean, he's going to sleep well tonight. Both sides of the ball, he was made plays. He set the tone early on offense and then finished it over on defense by getting a key tackle for loss there. I mean, he's going to get some free education. He gets to tell his mother, father, hey, I'm going to school for free if I so decide. Great job today.
You take a look at the final stats, and they are very reflective of the wet field and natural grass field tonight. 437 yards rushing for Greenon. I don't think we had a passing touchdown if you take away the pick 6 for Catholic Central in the second quarter, but not a lot of passing in the game, but you see the big stat at the bottom, 13 penalties for Greenon, the heavy majority of them coming in the third quarter. That is something that Josh will want to address with the team before the final 2 weeks of the season.
Always, your coaches say, hey, you're never as bad as you think you were, you're never as good as you think you are. Keep them on the even kill. He'll look at those 13 penalties. That'll help keep the even kill. But, hey, it's tonight. It's homecoming, Thursday Night Lights. Enjoy it. Be safe and have a good time and enjoy the victory. Enjoy for the next 24, 36 hours. Great job.
And Greenon will move to 2-6, a chance to win 3 straight next week. And meanwhile, our home stretch of Thursday Night Lights will continue next week in Riverside as the Stebbins Indians host the Tippecanoe Red Devils. We hope you join us for that and for the Dunbar Opponents matchup at Welcome Stadium in 2 weeks. That will wrap it up For Week 8 of Lee's Thursday Night Lights, for Keith Byers, Tej Joshi, and our crew, I'm Matt Digby. Thank you for watching this production of Dayton 24/7 Now and Classic Teleproductions. Good night from Clark County. You've been watching Thursday Night Lights.